Hello and good evening. I'm Johnny, your DM, and tonight I'm here with Dan.
Hello.
Brad.
Hiya.
Ryan.
Hi.
Becki.
Hello.
Christine.
Hello.
And Sean.
Hello.
Well, firstly, I want to say thanks, folks, for bearing with a few minor difficulties we've had getting the stream up and working tonight. A few gremlins in the machine. But tonight, Dan is working really hard on this running the stream. As you might notice, Brad has just absconded his duties, frankly.
Yeah.
That was what his delay was for. He was like, what do I do with myself? I'm not doing the stream.
Talk to people. What?
Yeah.
How is everyone? How's
life with lockdown is difficult at the moment.
Tier 4, am I right?
Indeed.
How are you guys coping? How's everyone?
Yeah.
Good. We're readjusting. We're having to change our plans, readjust our expectations for Christmas. But Christmas is, and all seasonal holidays are an event rather than a day specifically. So if the event has to be changed or if the event has to be moved, it's still about coming together when the time is right.
I disagree when people say that Christmas has been cancelled. It's not true. It's just a rearrangement. Christmas is still happening.
Yeah.
Well, if we look purely at the transition from Julian to Gregorian calendar, then Christmas is always in March or April anyway. This whole thing is just horrific.
Oh, well, then I expect Christmas presents come March and April from Johnny. Then there we go.
Expectations make
You heard
fools of all
it.
of
You
us.
heard it. Stream. All right. You need to
It's
back us
true.
up on this one.
Speaking of presents, Ryan, you did something interesting, didn't you?
Yes,
Some lovely
I
stuff.
threw all the laws out the window. So please don't come at me, government or police. But
It's
I
now officially
drove.
live on the internet that you did that, by the way.
This was
just got doxed.
This was
Straight up
pre-tier.
doxed.
It was a dark
Um,
secret that is
5
now a
or
live
6.
secret.
Drove 438 miles to hand deliver at the door everybody a Christmas present.
Socially distanced with a
socially
mask
distanced.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to be able to see
We were
everybody.
I'd say we were a good 5 meters apart.
yeah.
Even
You didn't
As-
just
as
double
you can
it.
see
You thought I'm
behind
going to add a bit
Dan's-
We
more.
had to
Dan's
throw
heads.
them over a fence and everything. It's real social distance.
Yeah, that's why they look the way they do. Yeah.
As Dan is graciously sliding out of the way of frame, you can see the presents. So I made everybody a pendulum art, which I worked with a local charity in Croydon called Turf. They graciously let me use their art space right in the centre of the Whitgift Centre in Croydon, so everybody could watch all of your beautiful pieces of art come to life. And it was amazing, sort of similar to this. It was amazing to do something creative, make something from the heart, not have to worry about work, and not have to sort of be in a allow yourself to do something that you never normally would be able to
Yeah.
do. So
Don't
thanks,
ask him what
everyone.
he used as a pendulum, though. So, you don't want to know how he painted them. But
Yeah, don't spoil the magic, mate. We don't want to spoil
Yeah,
the
of
magic. We're just
course,
really
yeah.
grateful you received a lovely
all I'm going to
handmade
say
gift.
is,
now we know why the first painting he did dragged on the floor.
yeah. So the thing is, and the only hint I'll give you guys, the only peek behind the curtain is I'll give you as a hint is Mission Impossible 1, and that's all you're getting.
is that how you did it?
That's all you're getting though. That's all you're getting.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise
came out.
painted it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
I'm aware that it's not just coming up to Christmas. There's also another. It's a significant day as well on the pagan calendar, I believe.
Well, paganism is one of those wonderful catch-all terms, a bit like European. It's almost meaningless. But in the Britannic and Celtic traditions, tonight would be Yule. It is midwinter. It is the longest night of the year. If we go on the lunar calendar, tonight is the middle of winter. If we go by the insane Christian calendar, then today is the first day of winter. So however you want to split it. So what I thought we'd do is, because I know we celebrate all faiths and beliefs here, and whilst I'm not hugely religious, I think we could kind of make this a bit fun and stream relevant. I've got a very quick game of Chinellen or pagan. And I've got,
Brilliant.
This is
Love
a
it.
surprise to all,
All
of
right,
us. This
yeah,
is exciting.
okay.
Absolutely.
I'm in.
Can I just say
Good
before we
test.
get going, hit that up on the chat. You all guys get involved as well because I'll
Yeah.
be looking. I'll be doing
Yeah,
it and
Dan's
taking
checking out the
over.
chat, so
Taking
feel free.
over.
so I thought what I could do is enlighten everyone with, because I was raised pagan, but I'm no longer. But some of the traditions are really beautiful and have stuck with me. So I thought I'd sling you 3 facts or 3 truths, and some of these truths are real world, and some of them are Chenellen. And your job, guys, is to guess which is which. So the first truth is, on the longest night of the year, everyone must leave an offering of blood outside their door to appease the god of death and stop their herd dying in the winter. Is that Chenellen or pagan?
Are we just shouting our answer out?
I mean, I guess.
It's
Yeah.
got to be. That's got to be Chenellen.
I think it's
Chenellen. I
That's
think it's
Chenellen.
I
Chenellen.
didn't
I
think
feel like
pagans were
pagan.
about blood sacrifices, were they? I thought they're all sort of like
dunno.
Mother Earth and all that.
Paganism had a lot of blood of goats and sheep.
I'd go for pagan.
Jim Bob's
Okay.
gone for
What are you going to do
pagan.
with the blood of a sheep? I guess.
Oh,
The-
Bob,
the
Bob,
teacher
So,
in
so
me.
let's go. So
Yeah,
like,
thumbs up, Chenellen, thumbs down, pagan.
yeah.
Well, isn't that a bit judgy? I don't know.
Nah, it's not. It's a ranking
Okay.
system. It's not
Okay.
judgment.
Barbara
Okay.
Wilson's just said false, so I don't know.
Thanks, Barbara. It was either Chenellen or pagan, so false. I guess neither.
Also, I guess you would. That would be false.
yeah.
You see through me. No, so that actually is a Chenellen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Just from your
Pagans, they love their
mind.
sheep and whatnot.
To a degree.
That was just pagan enough.
Secondly, mistletoe represents sperm, which is why it's not allowed to touch the ground. That's why it's hung. And on midnight at Yule, at the darkest point of the year, is dropped so that the mistletoe inseminates the earth, ushering forth new life and a new spring. Is
Listen,
that
that could be
Chenellen
pagan, but that
pagan?
Johnny, that you've said similar phrases before, so I want it to be pagan.
I'm gonna go pagan.
Is
So
there,
pagan.
is there a third? Is there a third of just like Johnny's
Yeah, just in the middle.
traditions?
Just Johnny made
Barbara
it up.
again has gone
That's
true.
Chenellen though,
which
isn't it?
is-
He's made it up.
I'm not quite
I'm going
sure.
pagan.
Yeah.
That means
Okay.
true.
That is a
gotta be
pagan
pagan.
tradition. That is
Yeah.
true.
Yes.
That is something we used to do every winter. And oh my god, my mother used to go insane if anyone even looked like dropping the mistletoe. We used to actually go and cut it with a scythe, like a proper hand scythe, and hang it
That's cool.
from when it first grew until
So is that
then.
where the kissing under the mistletoe came
Absolutely.
from? This idea
It's
of
good
like,
luck.
Yeah, yeah.
It's you kiss
Are we-
under the sperm to seed your new life.
Brilliant. That's going to be my line from here on in. So
It's God's sperm, mate. Do you want to kiss under it? Thirdly and finally, wishes for the coming year are either planted or written on a piece of paper and then planted or burnt at the same time in order to come true. Is that Chenellen?
That is
or
a tough
pagan?
one. You've saved the best till last.
I'm gonna.
Chenellen,
I feel like that
reckon.
could come out of your brain.
Can
Yeah,
I
I
get a
feel like
repeat? Can I get a repeat of?
So wishes are written on paper and they're either buried or burnt, depending on the region, in order to come true.
Is this? Are we only talking British and Celtic tradition?
So we're talking
Oh, Brad,
British,
it doesn't-
Celtic,
Oh,
pagan.
Brad,
Thumbs up
come
or
on, we've got
thumbs down,
stream to do,
mate.
mate.
Doesn't matter.
So that's Chenellen or
got a stream
pagan.
to do, doesn't matter, love it.
That is pagan. That's something else we
Oh!
used to do.
I
Yeah.
thought that was only
Great.
a Nordic thing.
No, it is a pagan thing. So those are
okay.
two traditions that I used to do every year that I no longer do. But, just an alternative. It's not... I know Christmas has been cancelled, but it doesn't stop... A, it's not cancelled. We're firmly there. But B, actually, Yule is a far older tradition. There is... everyone who's got any Indigenous European in them, it's all of our heritage that was kind of forgotten and wiped out. So nice to remember a little bit of that. And that has been heavily influencing some Nurmengard and some Chenellen stuff anyway. So hopefully
Well
you'll see a
done,
bit of that.
well done, Jim Bob on Twitch for getting 2 out of 3.
Yes,
Not bad.
well done, Jim.
got
And so,
Barbara got 3 out of 3, but she was the one saying true and false, so I'm not entirely sure that counts.
She
good
told
effort.
us she's got 3 out of 3
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Okay, we'll believe
Right.
you, Barb.
I believe
we'll
her.
you. Yeah.
I mean, thank you, Barbara. That is a little bit like the kids at school who, when I ask them a question, just are not paying attention. I mean, I believe you,
Yeah.
but so well done. That being said, it is the last live episode of the year tonight, but that doesn't mean that we're done on this channel.
No.
So
No, it doesn't.
could have taken a
Ryan.
break, couldn't we? We could have, but
Could have
we're
done,
all
but
we're
we're
all
not going to.
We're enslaved to this stream. We love it
I mean,
so
now,
much.
thinking about it, we could have still done a live stream because we're all
Because now
locked
we
in.
can't go anywhere.
But we've done it
But-
now, so,
Yep.
have the day off.
Ryan, tell us what's happening. What's happening next Monday?
We have got a special one shot hosted by yours truly. We are doing Executive Decision, which is a fast-paced West Wing white knuckle political thriller where one person, well, I've got to hype up somehow. Where one person is plays the president and the rest of the people play their cabinet with a crisis striking and only 1 hour on the real life clock to figure it out, what will you decide? Literally just made that up on the top of my head, by the way.
Brilliant.
Like,
Great work.
Well done.
Great work.
I'm really happy with that.
Hype
So
now.
yeah, we played the game. Unfortunately, our fearless DM Johnny could not make it because he was on the front lines as a teacher. But
Yeah, I was in a meeting. It was really boring.
but it was really amazing. It was really fun. We had a great time, and I really hope you guys get the chance to check it out. Actually, a few of us will. So I will be. I think maybe Dan as well. We'll be watching along the stream. We'll be able to chat with you guys like we do in this stream. So yeah, come watch it. It's really cool. And
I mean, I'm going to be there. I didn't get to play, so I want to watch it.
Oh yeah, and
you know,
Johnny's
if
actually
you
going
guys
to be there
agree
watching
from
the
the
live
live
chat.
Damn, yeah, that'll be fun.
It
Yeah,
took
I
some
think I can
serious
jump on that,
turns. That's all I can say. It
Yeah.
started
It really
and it
did.
took some
Also,
turns.
No fade into black.
If you like a bit of character development, I'd like to say that I think every single person went completely off piste from anything to do with the mainstream. So there were some amazing accents. There was some incredibly well, but it was really fun. So,
Yeah, we want some votes in the Twitch stream and on our social media. Blood Song Party on Twitter and Blood and Song on Instagram. Just let us know, and check us out on Facebook as well. But let us know what you thought of our accents. I would like a ranking. I love a ranking, right? In a list. Who doesn't like
Oh
a
god,
list?
yeah, best
I
thing
want
ever.
all accents
Tier
ranked,
list.
best to worst.
Sean, do you
worst
remember
of
that time you and I once stayed up doing our top 10 lists of top 10s?
Yes, that was good.
Yeah,
That was good.
genuine
We were
thing
fun-
we both did.
Fun children, weren't we? We were fun.
We were not, no. But, you know. Well, just before, I was going to say just before we do the socials, but you've kind of done them. We'll go back to them in a minute and give them a bit more attention. Just before that, I've got one other thing I would like to plug tonight. You'll see I'm wearing... Hopefully that's in shot. This is a first gen Erionwel shirt from the Earth Embers podcast that kind of birthed the world. As some of you know, I publish adventures through the DMs Guild and character classes and things like that. I'm in the midst of a really big update that's going to come out in the new year, but my very first one-shot adventure, which if you're stuck at home this Christmas and you want to get people into D&D and you're not sure if they'll like it, I had that exact same problem with my family a few years ago, so I wrote an adventure designed to introduce people to D&D. It is a level 3 one-shot lasting about 4 hours that's part puzzle, part mechanical, very light on combat, and features an amnesia mechanic, which is worth checking out. That is currently on sale. I believe you're getting over 50% off if you use the link in chat or on the URL as well, Dan.
It's just going up now.
Thank you very much. It's called The Night Before. Please do check it out. I'm not many copies of getting my first bronze award on a DM's Guild, so it'd really make me happy if you could
I don't know
get
what
that.
that means, but
It's great.
You
It says
are
award in
actually,
it.
people are actually interested in your stuff and they're buying it. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's fantastic. So, you know, I also check them out, and you've got some characters on there as well, haven't you? You've got
Yeah, I've got.
Bloods.
Well, let's not spoil those yet because that might come into the campaign.
Hey, all right,
Ooh.
okay.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a little plug from me. Thank you. Other than that, is there anything else we need to shout out tonight before we dive in?
No, I don't think so. Let's
Oh,
do
just
it.
wish everyone a happy Yule. Is that what you do? A happy
Merry Yule, Happy Yule,
Merry
Happy
Yulemas?
Solstice. You know, may the darkness fuck off. Because it's been a hell of a year. The days are going to be a little bit brighter from tomorrow, and I think everyone
Yeah.
has had a tough year in some way, shape, or form. And we hope that as your days get brighter, so things get better in our lives too. Because, fuck. Although I did just say, someone put up on Twitter a thing that says, "Oh God, my worst fear." It said 2020 new game, 2021 new game plus. And I went,
Uh-oh.
"Oh fuck, no."
No, I'm not okay with
but-
that.
That's a
It's-
great niche video game reference.
That's
I love
okay
it.
It
with
really is.
The other one is that we've leveled up so much from this year that next year is just going to be easy.
Yeah, that's the plan. Well, if that's everything done, we've mentioned the socials. I think tonight is time to dive into this week's episode of Blood and Song. Hello and welcome back. So our intrepid adventurers have been on a little bit of an adventure, drawn into a festival many weeks ago now. They were embroiled in a fight where the Presarius of the town was injured, and they had to escort her to the city of Cinderbane looking for healing. Whilst there, they get drawn into investigation of a mysterious illness running rampant. This led them to a nobleman's house where they discovered something had been stolen, which in turn led them to a thieves' guild, which led them to their ultimate destination, a confrontation with a mysterious figure that was phasing in and out of reality. They came pretty close to wiping, not gonna lie. There were a few harsh words off stream, but towards me. But they made it, as I always knew they would, and they triumphed, gaining back the shard from this mysterious figure. They'd returned to the hospital, bringing the shard back to Inmara, who, upon using her arcane powers, had discovered that it didn't seem to be causing the illness, but it did seem to be very powerful and very dangerous. And she had tasked them with going to find her colleague, Ignis Day, who she described as a bit much, and he was currently near the city of Shademantle. At this point, the party had gone back to their lodgings, but upon leaving the hospital, a strange figure had burst in with the mysterious black ooze dripping down their face, and had been held in place as odd bits of kind of carapace and horn seemed to be growing through their body, and they became violent. Inmara subdued them and bid them to hurry on their way. They got back to their hostel, and they had a long rest. And we find them now in the morning, fully leveled up to level 4. You've had a long rest. Anything you have used has disappeared, and the day is your own. What would you like to do?
Ripper's going to roll a d4 to see what exercises he's doing this morning. That is 3. 3 is... Let me... Where have I got it in my notes? 3 is sit-ups. So he's gotten out of the bunk. I believe he was a bottom bunk kind of guy. And he's got his feet hooked under, and he's just... 99, 100, 102, 303, 304,
7,
405,
8,
222.
9,
there we go. Oh,
good work, Ripper.
got to start a day off right, ain't ya?
I think for Sixsmith, he's gone quite early. He's just gone out for a walk, or he's taken, that it's still dark. He's got up, he's dressed, and he's headed out, and he just wants to take a walk around the area. I don't know if there's anywhere nice, like a lake or a park or something. I mean, they might be in a bit of a slummy area of town, but there's always.
Well, as you come out into Cinderbane, you walk around the streets, and much like the rest of the time you've been here, the buildings are stained grey from the constant ashfall as you are a scant few hundred miles away from the blighted wastes. The light ash fall that had appeared like rain or snow yet in the last few days seems to have stopped, but it has kind of left a bit of a weird grey sludge underfoot. There are early morning traders out sharing drinks. About the nicest place you can find in Coin Row is a small business piazza with some traders and just general goods. Again, Cinderbane is a pretty forgotten city.
I think he'll probably order two spiced teas, and if they're not spiced, he'll add some of his own. But he'll order 2 spiced teas, and he'll sit at a table that overlooks some of the traders. And if Lack feels like it's has felt like it might be time for them to talk, he'll join him. If not, he'll drink both teas and come in. I think he wonders whether it's worth talking about that bonkers stuff that happened last time in the middle of that fight.
Well, Lack is going to he's going to sit down. He's going to walk around taking the mick out of Ripper to begin with, and then he'll go and he will go down and sit down for tea with his brother.
Okay, so you find your way down. What's everyone else doing?
Octavius is also just going to go downstairs and have a nice meal and a drink. He's going to sit with the rest of the group, but he's not going to talk much.
Faeza's going to do her daily little prayers to Ondra, and then go downstairs and Toots might be a little bit scuffed from yesterday, so she's going to give her a bit of a polish using prestidigitation just to get her a bit clean, just to mend her up and make sure she's all ready for the day. And that'll probably be her. She'd probably keep polishing Toots until somebody dragged her away, but that'll keep her busy for a while.
And whilst you're polishing Toots and casting prestidigitation, which I'd imagine you've got some small wooden gadget that again emits this kind of cleaning spray and buffing device.
I think it's got a little fluffy bit on it, which just does a quick whirl, and then it probably has a little jet inside it, so that like you get some of those things. Yeah. It's just got a little dispenser inside it, and that'll probably do it.
As you're doing that, Toots is looking pretty exhausted and tired. No mechanical penalties, but just after everything that she went through in the fight yesterday, she's even though she's healed, she's back to normal. Her toots aren't quite as enthusiastic as normal. She's feeling a little bit under the weather. She's appreciating
Faeza's giving her a bit of love.
Sad toot? Can I get a sad
Yeah, can we hear what those toots sound like?
Toot.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
Like a clanger.
Yeah.
I do my best. And what's Seed up to in this fine morning?
So Seed is going to take the opportunity while everyone seems otherwise occupied to leave the accommodation and surreptitiously try and judge whether any of the buildings in the nearby area may have a back alley or similar place where basically you might find food rubbish, specifically bones.
Make me an investigation check, please, Seed.
Oh no! Right.
Are you rolling on a guitar?
Huh?
Are you rolling your dice on a guitar?
So I am currently sat in the middle of a lot of carnage. So I do have a dice tray here, but yes, there's a lot of weird echoes. Sorry.
It sounds like there's a lot of carnage.
Just finding my. Okay, that's 17.
Okay, with a 17, just behind the block that the hostel is on, you find a fantasy dumpster. It's the... Yeah, they exist. It's essentially a refuse pile. It probably actually would have been something closer to a compost heap, where small carcasses of chickens and guinea fowls and other things are thrown out. You do find a few mere ribbit bones as well there. But you find plenty of small bones.
So... Seed, to the best of their ability, is going to look through the small bones and basically try and take one of each type. Okay. So sort of trying to make best guess on like if this is coming from this little carcass, then I'll just take one from here, one from there. But all the time trying to be kind of surreptitious about
Can you make me a stealth
doing.
check then, please?
Okay. That is another 17. I'm quite stealthy.
Rolling well tonight. Yeah, as far as you can tell... Hang on. As far as you can tell, no one notices you sneak into the back of an alley and rummage through a compost heap. And you do manage to get... about 4 sets of tiny bones.
Okay, so Seed tucks all the bones quietly into their little leather pouch and kind of does it back up with a ominous little jingle.
And then we're going to cut back to Lack, who is at this point coming downstairs and sees his brother just sat at the piazza with 2 cups of chai waiting.
Well, Lack knows what that means, so he walks with purpose, but like a little bit, he's holding back a little bit, and he sits down at the table without saying anything, just takes the tea, kind of looks down at it, sips it.
He sips his tea as well, and what he the way he speaks, he's almost like he won't look Lack in the eye to begin with, and I think there's almost like an element of rehearsal to it, like he's had a long time to think about some of what he's saying. And then some of what he's saying, he's trying to just play catch up from what happened yesterday. So he takes a small sip of the tea. Mother always told me that I was different, that both of us were different. You know, she told me that my father was a celestial, and he keeps his voice low as he says that. I've always looked up and thought that whenever I could be better or do better, I would be closer to him. And therefore, I would be closer to the light inside of me, myself. I just know that the change in me happened when I found purpose. I went to the army, I saw reason and I saw madness. I saw harmony and I kept the peace among the lords in the land. I found my kin for a time, and in a small way I found myself. I don't know why Mother sent you away. You were very young. I don't know why she sent you to that place in the mountains. But I know eventually I had forgiven her for it. Long after I joined the army, I had forgiven her, you see. I was glad when we met each other at Mother's place of passing under the circumstances. At the time, I realized I should try and go with you. I don't know if what you're going through is the same as what I was going through, and maybe what I am going through. And he takes another sip, and you can see he's a little nervous. He doesn't really know if what he's saying is accurate. He believes it, but he doesn't know if it's accurate to the situation. I had a boundless love for your mother, as I loved our mother. The day you were born, you know, it was the same day she left. You know some of this tale, but I've never told you that there was a terrible storm that night. I was frightened of lightning, you see, but not after that night. A ray of light, you see, shone over the birthing tent. I was outside taking shelter under a tree in fright, apprehension. This ray of light, it seemed to me like hope. And when I entered the tent, second mother was gone. But there you were, a light in the storm. Mother told me second mother lived on in you. I know that's just what people say. But I always thought, like my father, your mother also maybe had a gift. I don't know what it is, and I don't know how it manifests exactly. And he looks at Lack at this point. I just know it's slow and without halting. I know it comes in some way from the gods, which makes it a powerful responsibility, and not by default either good or bad. It just is. I'm privileged in many ways to have seen what happened to you. I'm grateful to be here, and I will be here if you need me going forwards. But do you have any questions for me? And he takes a sip, and he has a stance that says he's finished. He's finished, and it's time for Lack to maybe fill him in or give him some of his missing information that he requires at this point.
Lack knows this. He's like, this is not the first time that his brother's spoken to him in this way. But about this, it certainly is. I thank you, brother. There's so much to unpack about that. It feels like you've been thinking about it for a long time. I don't know what happened in that temple. I only know that someone spoke to me, and it sounded a bit like Mother, and a bit not like Mother. I don't know. And I found these words, they were in my blood. I didn't know what they were before. I'm not even sure I remember them now. But at the time, it was clear. Anyway, brother, I'm scared. I think this might have been why Mother sent me away. It doesn't feel right, and yet it feels right, you know? I don't know if I have control of this. I was just trying to save our friends. I think we probably need to... I don't know whether I'm a threat to these people now or not. Whether they'll be scared of me. I killed a person. I don't even know why I did it. It was just this poor boy trailing me and Ripper. And I didn't need to. He's just an innocent boy. And I killed him. I don't know whether that's what's in me.
And Sixie takes a deep breath and he looks around. I don't know what happened to you and the boy. I don't know why people live and people die. I don't know why it is okay to sometimes take the life of one person and not another. I don't know. I know that when you took the life of the creature that attacked us, you saved all of us, including yourself. You saved 6 people. I don't know if the thing inside you is bad or good, but I know that you are good. And I know that Mother did not send you away because you were bad. I know that.
You are like it. She didn't say she just sent me away.
She never told me. And I know that you didn't get to know your second mother very well, but I knew her. Her and Mother, we went on journeys and adventures together before you were born. I loved her, and I can see her in you. It's not just something that somebody says, to make you feel good. There's a part of her inside you, and I loved her, and I love you. And you know what? You know what Mother would always say? You need a tea? You get a tea. And he gestures for 2 more teas.
And we have our teas.
The waiter very quietly brings them out and respectfully just puts 2 teas down in front of you. Doesn't look gives you weird looks as the moment he starts walking away, Six automatically by reflex starts sprinkling some herbs straight in.
Get those chilies in.
In both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And he
just 2
walks
teas,
off.
yeah?
Just 2 teas. It's at this point, with this kind of somber moment, that Octavius walks down with looking a little bit more reserved than normal and plonks himself down and gestures for some food, which is soon brought over.
I think
Quietly eat the meal.
Ripper will make his way down as well.
Ryan, just before you do, can you roll me a D100?
The D100?
D100, please.
Oof. Been a long time since I rolled one of those.
Random roll
Trip and
table.
fall down the stairs.
That is a 70 flat.
That worked out quite well for you. So Ripper actually manages to complete 70 pull-ups before he realises that no one else is in the room and he can't really be bothered to keep it up and decides to head down.
Nice. I assume the other people are assembling towards the table, coming towards down. Ripper will take out the sack of coins that we got from the lady doctor, and plonk it on the table. I ain't gonna count this. I've not really been good at keeping money, ain't got any pockets to keep it in, really. So yeah, I mean, we've got some cash.
Faeza's not very far away with Toots, and she sort of turns around and goes, "Oh, pockets? I've got 43." And then her little device, she pushes a little button, and what was 1 circle just suddenly becomes 5, and then gets on Toots' belly, and Toots just starts doing that thing that dogs do, when their foot starts going like that. Oh, you've really hit the spot. But she's carrying on. She just threw that as an offhand comment and then carried on.
Oh, well, perfect. I guess someone ought to count this and divvy it up between us so we can figure out what we want to do with it. And this is where the DM will remind us how much money was in that sack of coins.
How much were we originally given?
It was 1,200.
Okay, cool.
You are given 1,271 worth of gold and silver coins.
Lovely. Somebody,
wait.
quick maths in the chat. Quick maths. How much is that divided? Quick maths in the chat.
You're literally waiting for chats to
No,
do the
no,
counting for
can't
you.
do
I'm
that.
waiting for
You
somebody
lazy
else. I told you, man.
I'll do it. Hold on.
Well,
What was it?
200
1271.
Keeping
above the table, it's up for you
I've
to
done it.
decide whether you want to have a communal fund or whether you want to do individual funds. That is a party decision, and I will not make any decisions for you.
Should we divide
well, if you
half
divide
and
it-
then keep half for the kitty? Something like that. Divide half between all of us and then keep half for a kitty. Does that make
If
sense?
we were to split it between the 6 of us, it would be 211.83 recurring. Same. So I don't know how that works out, but yeah.
Why don't we each keep 150 and then chuck 50 in the pot?
61 and 0.78 or something.
1271. What? So basically, everyone take 150.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you making me do maths? This is work.
Well, you don't have to. Bradley
all right,
normally
it's
does
all
this
right.
for us.
I can do it if you. Really
There
like
is
me to.
there
Well,
is
you're not doing the
basically
stream,
if you
Brad,
each took
are
if we
you?
each
So
took
you might as well do this.
150. If
Come
we
on,
each took
stop being lazy.
150, it would be 900, which would leave us with 371 gold pieces
That feels
for
good
the.
as a
Yeah.
beginning
For the kitty.
starter for the. Does this
Okay.
mean Lack looks around for seed because they're not here? Has anyone seen seed before we do this?
No, I didn't see him in the room. I
Do you think that-
thought
do
they
you
were
think
down
they'll
here with
want-
you
Do you
guys.
think they'll want a tea or, you know?
I don't know. It
I
seems
have,
like it
I have
is,
not seen them.
Lack gets up. I'll be back. This seems like a group chatter, and Lack's gonna go have a quick look around in the block around, trying to find seed.
So I assume that timing-wise, I would probably be on my way back at this
Yes.
point.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'll be approaching our accommodation.
Ah, seed. We were just
Oh.
all looking for you. We're having quite a big chat. I think it's going to get quite serious, but in a good way.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
fancy,
I was just out for a walk. Normal, human walk. That was all.
Absolutely. So am I then, I guess. Shall we walk together?
Oh, no, I have finished my normal human walk. Thank you.
Okay, are you just going to stand there then, or shall we walk back to...
Oh, yes. No,
That's
I
what-
was
that's
going
what-
to
that's
come
what I
back to
meant,
the
yeah.
accommodation.
Cool,
Yes,
you come with me.
absolutely.
That's fine. Good communication. Love it. So Lack will walk with Seed. I don't know. Some really weird things happened in that temple, and I want to apologize because I'm not sure that I gave across exactly how I am. I didn't know, and something's in me, and I don't know what it is, and that's quite scary. And I don't know if you. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, everything's gonna be okay, huh?
Are you talking about the arms?
Yes, in a way.
Oh.
Um,
I really liked the arms. I thought they seemed very useful. I think more humans would benefit from extra arms.
I guess that's one way of looking at it, huh? 6
So-
arms are better than 2.
Right? Exactly. So, I don't want you thinking that I have some kind of problem or concern about you being a little bit different to normal humans. In fact, I think it's rather nice.
That's a nice way of looking at it, Sid. I guess I'd agree. Yeah.
Was that the first time you have had all of the arms?
Yes.
That's very exciting.
I didn't think of it as exciting at the time, but now I guess.
I don't know. I suppose I see it as a positive asset, but I appreciate it is extremely scary if you suddenly have additional appendages.
Yes, it wasn't what I was expecting.
I can see that.
Well, this conversation turned out very differently from how I expected it to go. But I'm walking away happier. So why don't you join us for D?
Oh,
I mean, we're all drinking or not drinking. We're just talking about money, really.
okay. Money, yes. And tea, yes. I know what they are. Good. Okay, I can do that. Money and tea, yes.
Excellent.
Is
So
seed still
Latin-
purple?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
With
Lack
the
didn't
yellow
drop a
polka
beat of
dots.
that. He didn't drop a beat. Absolutely saw the blobby coming. In fact, it's almost impossible to hide, I guess.
In fact, I'm sure I forgot to do this last session, and if I did, I can't remember it. So, Becki, could you just roll me a d4?
Of course I can. I've just realised that you let me have a stealth check without disadvantage while I was purple.
Five.
You were up against a purple polka dot wall or something. It was perfect.
I mean,
Lovely
it was like,
string art.
yeah, it's 2020. Come on.
I got a 1.
1. Okay. So, okay. Thank you. We'll find out what that means.
Dear.
I think as Seed and Lack come back to the table, I assume we've sorted out the piles of gold into 150s.
I was
and
going to
the-
say that Octavius has started with like condiments, drawing a map out of Centinella of where we may need to go.
Now, is that as in using them as rudimentary placeholders, or pouring the salt out and smudging a map?
Oh, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Full map.
Pouring the salt out and smudging.
In
is
that
more
case, can you
accurate.
make me a performance check, please, Octavius, for accuracy?
Oh, that's not bad. What's my plus? That is a -2, so that's still 14.
I mean, it's not like the it's not quite as bad as cave paintings, but it's certainly not like one of those weird beach portraits that you see where you go, how the fuck can any human do that with sand? That's not reasonable. It's, you know, a rudimentary but functional
They can see the
salt
cities,
map.
of course. They can see where the cities
Absolutely.
are. Yeah, well,
Yeah, you put some pepper,
That's all.
sprinkled some pepper down as the cities.
Yeah.
And on any Chanellan table, any time of day, there will be a little bowl with rosemary, garlic, and olive oil just all crushed in. So you've pulled out a few little leaves and stuck them down as key
olive oil
points.
as rivers.
Yeah. One of the waitresses just looks at you, and you just see that look in the eye that all public service people have of,
I'm going to
I'm
have
going
to
to
tidy
clean
that.
that up.
Excuse me, you don't have
Oh,
any kale. He needs to make some bushes.
Can I be which one is the tallest? I'd like to be that one, if that's okay. Can I be the pepper? Can I be the pepper in this diagram?
No, well, this map's too big to put all 6 of us down.
Just put me down. I'll represent everybody.
We are all the pepper. We are all the pepper pot.
We are all pepper. That's a
Yes.
nice. I like that.
All
I think
pepper
Mother always
all
used to
the
say that,
time.
didn't she?
Okay.
As Seed rolls up, Faeza turns to them and says, "So, when do you want to go? Silverthorn? Go and see if we can sort this out."
Well, I think we need to do a couple of things, right? If we're traveling, first of all, we've got no means of transport, right? Now we've got like the kitty. We need to get rations and stuff. Like maybe we need to arm ourselves. Am I right? And he slaps Lack on the shoulder.
Oh.
And no one. All right, but you know we need to maybe think about how we're going to get there. We can't all really walk it.
Can I just at this point, since we're now sharing money, I don't usually do money, but we're sharing money and we're having a kitty.
That's
group
right, yeah.
Kitty. Does that mean we're all traveling together as a group now?
Kitty? What do you mean a kitty? I'm not sure.
Well, it sounded like we're keeping some for everyone.
Like, can you just roll me a history check, please?
Like a pot.
Yeah, would I know what one of these is?
Just roll me a history check.
History. Pff. That is an 8.
It's enough. So you know that a kitty is a small indigenous creature to Indiri that stores shiny objects in one of its 3 pouches.
Sort of like a meowth.
So we're gonna. I'm quite excited that we're gonna buy a pet together, and I just think it's quite a big quite a big
Oh, we're
moment.
buying a pet.
No,
No, no,
no.
We are
as a
getting a
soldier's
pet?
boat.
No,
I think
No,
so.
one
Faeza
soldier
said
keeps
we're going to
all the money
have a
in the
kitty.
boat, and then you dig into the soldier's boat. You pull out a coin. Octavius, you may know it as soldier's boat. You know,
Wait,
hey,
are we-
who's got
we-
the soldier's,
Soldier's boat was something very
Jangly,
different in
over there.
where I
We just
was.
call it the pot. We call it the pot.
Toot starts pushing her nose in, going, looking like she's like, but I'm the pet. What? She's looking a bit confused.
A reproachful toot
Okay,
comes out.
I think we've all got off with the
Six
wrong
years
start,
old,
but
yeah.
what I'm really trying to get at is it seems like we're making a commitment to each other to be a group. And I just wasn't quite sure people would want to do that after what happened.
I thought we had agreed with that when we did. When we agreed.
Well, we're going to take this thing all together, yeah?
Well, I had already agreed to help Faeza find her master. That was the original mission. I thought
And
we would do.
we'd agreed that we would help in Mara.
Yeah, we're kind of investing, we're putting money in. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it feels like it's a
Well,
forward thing. You know?
well, someone once told me it's dangerous to go alone. Here, take this, and gave me a group of people to hang out with, right? And I feel like this is the same sort of scenario where, you know, like if we're traveling on those roads by ourselves. I mean, you saw we got attacked by
You're right. I just wanted to say
Bax
I
Jarrah,
think it's a
whatever his
good
name
thing.
was.
I think Six senses lacks hesitation because maybe he thinks it's to do with the conversation they had. Like maybe people will be, whether it's true or not, he senses that maybe it's because people will be reticent to travel with him if he regards himself as a threat of some kind. So he just sort of blusters in and goes, no, brother, it'll be good. We'll all do adventure. It reminds me of your mother and our mother. We went on grand adventures. You'll love it. I'll tell you stories. You know I love telling stories. I'm very good at it as well. You know, I've got lots of compliments. We'll go. It'll be good. You know what mother always used to say? Never turn down a story
until it's got to the end.
Until it's got to the end, because otherwise you've got to, what happened last time, and then you come back to it later on.
Exactly.
You know, it's very annoying.
And just as a DM note, because it has been a very long week for all of us personally, I will remind you that in the hospital office when you'd been within Mara, when she tried to identify the shard, you had all shared.
We had a shared vision, didn't we? Yeah.
A vision of these four places. I know that as players we may
never
have
really
forgotten.
spoken about either yet, have we? So
No.
Okay. I was just really, I just wanted to say I'm happy about that. That's all.
You know, there was talk in the army of sometimes the night before a big battle, all the people in the area, they would all have they would all share the same memories. You know. And, well, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Seems to be different in each country.
It's a courtesan thing, you know. Ripper will tell you more about it later.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
but sometimes even
after the watershed.
Sometimes, you know, because I was looking after the lands, really, you know, and stopping the peasants and the fighting and other sorts of things. Sometimes the battles would go on inside the mind, you know, and by the next day, the two factions would come together and say, we all shared this thing, this dream, and none of us need to fight today. And, you know, sometimes it happened more than you would think, and we left, you know, we accept that there's a little mystery in life. But it reminds me of wanting to talk to you all about this vision we all shared and what it means.
Well, I had a thought that at least some of the areas seem to align with the gods and what they represent. In the great tree representing life and the earth, and maybe then representing Ondra. So,
The great tree was what I recognized.
yeah, and then the fire realm representing Circa. So that was my thought.
I think maybe what my brother is saying as well, if I may put words into your mouth, is that trust is something that you must go headlong into, and then it still grows. We've gone headlong into this, but we must grow this trust. So did anybody in their visions, is there anything that they wish to communicate with us? Did they know something that we did not? When they experienced their vision, was it something that maybe you could shed light on what is clearly our combined journey.
Well, the vision jumped from place to place, did it not? And one of those places I recognized as home. And I wondered if everyone else felt that way too. If there were places within the dream.
I think you might be right. I don't know. There was definitely a place that felt familiar to me.
So at this sort of moment, the bird appears out of thin air and just sits on my shoulder. I don't look at it. I know it's happening, but I don't look at it. And I sort of gesture to my hair, and I'm like, well, there's evidence that I'm aligned to at least one of those places. But whether it felt like home or not, I'm not sure.
I thought that was a fashion choice.
No, it's the existence of the bond that has caused this.
Oh, right. So does that mean like I'm gonna get grey hairs because I like aligned with, like with Illyria?
If there's anyone that could pull that off, Ripper, it's you.
I don't believe this is part of anything godly, but then again, I don't really know anything about the bird.
Okay, so it started on an island, and there were gales, and there was a massive shape there, and then it went white, and then we moved to somewhere where I was very familiar with, or felt very familiar with. It was dappled sunlight and dark green leaves, and it felt like the holy tree, the great tree of Ondra, which is my home.
Which at this point, sorry to cut in there, Faeza, at this point, the rest of you would have heard of the great tree as a thing of legend. But as far as you are all concerned, it is a thing of legend.
You've seen this tree, Faeza? You've seen it? You've been to it?
I saw it every day. My home is in the mountains above the valley where the great tree lives.
My goodness, that's amazing.
But it was disturbing because in this vision the tree was bent and broken, and leaves were falling. Leaves don't fall from the great tree.
Do you think we saw a glimpse into the future? Maybe a future that may happen if the six of us don't stay together?
I don't know, but it was not.
I think it's linked more to the shard than it is to us.
Well, this shard that we've got, we know where we can get it analysed by that guy just north of the Glimmerwood, right? I think let's go there, and maybe he can, no pun intended, shed some light on the dream that we had, and maybe from there we can have a deeper understanding of it. It was only all visions that we saw, and some things that some people have seen, and some things other people ain't seen either. So I think that's probably our best bet. We move there as a group. Lack, I'd love to have you along. Who else is going to be my second cop?
Ripper, by the way,
I'd be with you.
You usually say, pun not intended, after the pun. Because now we know you definitely meant the pun.
It was a very good pun, to be fair.
I thought it was pretty good. Look, you stick to drawing maps. I'll stick to cracking
I'm
jokes.
as good at drawing maps as you are puns.
Ooh.
I don't know what's happening here, but I'll be your cop, Ripper. And he puts his hand on his shoulder and stands up. I feel we should get going, huh?
Just 6 cops.
Perhaps
Let's go.
Perhaps before we do though, we do need to sort out what we need.
Yes.
We definitely need seed not to be purple. I think that would be a good move.
I would like that very much.
Octavius, to the shop.
Is that not natural?
What do you think, Octavius? To the shop. We fix the face. We get some supplies, and then to the stables on our way out of the.
Can I just remind you, last time you went to that shop, Faeza and Seed, that you were there for about as long as it took me and Ripper to walk and get lost in the cinders.
He was very rude.
And you still didn't buy anything. So that man, he's
I've got something. She picks up. She holds a sticky chicken.
I take that back. I forgot. Don't let that man waste your time, huh?
Yeah, in and out, and then we go.
Okay.
Who's got the communal kitty?
Well, I have 43 pockets. I don't mind. I'm sure I can shift something around.
Well, we should divide and conquer. Someone get transport, someone get provisions, and we'll meet back here in our fair. Well, or maybe air. Meet back here in our fair or air.
Who's
I'll get new auntie and uncle. Who's going to come with me?
I'll come get new auntie and uncle.
Okay,
Who's
so
carrying the lead line box, by the way?
I'm carrying that around.
Okay.
so I'm going to say that unless you particularly want to roleplay buying general provisions, that it will take you about 45 minutes going around doing a little bit of haggling, getting 6 days, 7 days worth of provisions, which will at least get you to the next big trading port that you know, or the trading city that you know. Or you can go and get provisions for the whole journey if you wish. They may spoil before the end, but that would be up to you.
That'd be a good excuse to stop off, won't it? Getting in.
I think,
Okay.
yeah, I think getting provisions to the
So for the party, just getting provisions, I'm going to say that comes to about 6 silver for 6 days.
Each.
Again, they're pretty... No, it's total. It's pretty
Okay.
basic.
So
Yeah.
And what else? I suppose there's some kind of armory nearby. Does anybody need to go and get some weapons or something like that, or are we?
There was Silverthorn's Oddities. That's the magic shop that you can go back to, but you do not have to.
I think we need to for the purple skin. I'm not going to lie.
I
Okay.
would
Well,
very
we're
much
going-
like to
we're-
be less purple.
We're going to an archmage, though, aren't we?
Do I have to be purple the whole
And
way
also-
to the Archmage?
And also, maybe we can go ask in the hospital.
They seemed very busy when we were there last night.
I mean, we never questioned the old face.
can I
Um,
use my medical expertise to try and
Make a
see,
medicine check.
may I take a look at your skin? Is that okay?
Can I give the help action because I've also got medicine skills.
Have you got proficiency in it there, Ripper?
Oh,
I rolled a 3.
So Octavius,
Oh.
as you examine
Plus 7,
Seed.
10.
10, okay. Changes things. So as you examine Seed, you notice that their skin looks a lot drier than you'd expect. Strangely, it's completely hairless as well. The purple and yellow mottling doesn't appear to be an infection of any kind, and with your work in scouting and your training in druidism, you would have a sense that this is something magical, and therefore, who knows?
This is outside of my area of expertise, but I would recommend moisturizer.
I'm sorry, what is moisturizer?
Oh, it's just some skincare, don't worry.
Okay, I will care for it.
Octavius, you're giving skincare routine choices now.
Skincare is important to the length of the self.
Oh my gosh.
Warrior.
I
Well,
think Ripper and
interesting
Octavius
person.
might have something in common.
Oh my god, I'm
Okay.
gonna have to do it. Can you both roll a d20? Let's see who's got smoother skin. d20.
Listen, I think Ripper's gonna be part of this as well.
That's what I'm. No, yeah, Ripper
you
versus Oct. Yeah, who's got the smoothest skin?
Are we,
Oh,
can I
hold
add my medicine?
Nope, just a d20.
Rolled at 18.
I rolled a 3.
Just a bad day. Bad wind, huh?
Practice what you
Anyway.
preach, you know.
It's not a relative scale. It's just that, you know, Ripper has the kind of glistening soft skin of the self-obsessed, whereas Octavius has the well
I no
cared
longer have
for
access to
weathered
my army
skin.
products.
Yeah,
Based on
like,
age, huh?
Ripper has the skin of a man that's not done a day's work in his life. That sort of that sort of skin.
Well, no, I think that's unfair. He's got the skin of someone whose work is staring at himself in the mirror and moisturising.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's important. People have paid a lot of money to do that.
Exactly. Okay.
Right, who's gone?
That's it.
Oh, I assume we're
Right,
not
yeah,
going to role
Six and Lack are
play.
going straight
Yeah.
to get the transport
mules.
out of here, maybe to the stables, and they'll say, "We'll meet you guys after
Mules
you
or
finish
horses.
sorting
If
out."
you want to
um,
upgrade to horses.
Yeah, we'll see when we get there. That's what they decide.
Okay. So you managed to procure. Do you want mules or do you want horses?
Horses, but if these get stolen, then Six is going to be really mad. Right?
Okay. So through
just be
negotiation, you
careful.
find out that the horses are a little bit more expensive. They are coming in at about 30 gold each.
ooh.
Well, if we get 2 horses
Two
and
horses.
a wagon, That's what, 70 gold?
Yeah, you could
Is
do
it,
that.
is it
for
a big enough
70
wagon
gold.
to fit us all in it?
It's big enough that you could. It's a kind of open back trader's wagon, so you could carry a few people in it, certainly, but probably not the whole party all the time. They've got a slightly more comfortable travelling wagon, but that will set you back pretty much the whole of your 150 gold allotment to get that.
So let's get the. Well, Lack's quite happy to walk along with the horses.
Faeza has toots and can always hitch a ride if she needs to.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That's true. Yeah. All right, Ripper wants to go to this matey boy's shop. You know, the one that these guys went shopping in. Right. He's going to
So-
kick open the door.
Wait, who's
No,
heading
no,
there
no, no.
first?
Wait, what? It's me and Seed.
Okay, and Ripper.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. I'll wait for those two to do their thing then.
Okay.
Just waiting outside awkwardly,
Really?
getting ready to kick the door
Well, we
down.
had a deal with him. I don't think it's unrealistic that we should try and talk to him first. We can
So-
be firm. Though.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's all right. Listen, I've got a whole thing with shopkeepers like this. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll wait for you to go in, come out. I'll be waiting across the street, and then when you're done, I'll do my thing. Right? You just carry on. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you
Okay.
open the door again to the kind of musty looking shop again, just like a brick and brack store, just crap everywhere, none of it particularly organised. And just appearing behind the bench, you see the balding middle-aged figure of Mirren, who looks up and goes, "Oh, you took one of the potions, didn't you?" to Seed.
Yes, I would like to report the first results of your experiment. These are the results.
Oh,
I would add that it did help with the health, but
Oh.
there is a significant side effect. It looks lovely, she says to Seed. But it's something that maybe you know how to get rid of.
oh, well, let me have a look. And he rushes over and he pulls down his goggles that Faeza, you take an instant interest in, because they are very similar, kind of bifocal goggles. And he's just turning some apparatus on the side and staring at Seed and going,
Faeza's gonna slip her, because her glasses are on a chain, she's gonna slip them down. She's gonna put her goggles on and just like mimic him to see what he's trying to look at.
Yes, it's definitely a result of the potion. I think you might need to moisturise a bit, but it would probably just wear off after a number of days. I wouldn't worry about it. It's probably not permanent.
Probably.
Well, I can't be sure.
Okay, so Faeza puts her goggles, puts her glasses back up, gets quite close to him, and says, "Why not?"
He pulls them off and goes, "Well, it was experimental, isn't it? I was trying out doses. I mean, with these things, you never can tell. You can try things. I mean, it should wear off, but there's always a chance. Depending on physiology, it affects the different sentient people differently."
So, are you saying you've not tried this on any other living thing before you tried it? Before you offered it to us to try?
Oh, no, that's why you were the first. It's why you got such a good deal.
He did say that, didn't he?
Good gravy.
Okay. So, if I were to take more of these, your advice would be, if there are adverse effects, to wait a few days and see what happens.
I mean, generally, yes, it's probably the best thing for it.
Okay. Out of interest, do you sell any kind of, I don't know, scarf or something here? You know, a bit more of a face covering situation?
And might I add that rather than sell said piece of fabric, maybe it would be helpful to add to the experiment to be ongoing with.
I'm not quite sure about that. I don't see how that works. You did get the potions very cheap. I mean, a normal healing potion would set you back 50 gold, and you got those for a very, very good price. I mean,
Yeah, but a normal healing potion wouldn't turn you purple.
I mean, that's why it's 5 times the price, though. I mean, it is part of the deal of the experimentation. I mean,
Okay,
you yourself
okay.
make things.
Okay.
You can't always guarantee results.
But I honestly and truthfully, I feel that this would be part of the part of the relationship, part of the kit that we need to survive.
Okay. Hang on.
Otherwise, we might just take these healing potions and, you know, not report back if we don't feel there's any reason for us to come back to you and to show what's going on.
Well, let me
Why
have a
would you
look.
not
Let
know?
me have a look. And he kind of goes behind the desk, and you hear just like throwing noises as bits of bric-a-brac are thrown. He goes,
And can all three of you just make a perception check for me, please?
Oh, crikey. Okay.
he's going to fail it because he's behind a desk doing something.
Cool.
He's not noticing anything.
Wait, hold
That
on.
was a natural one from me.
I'm not going to lie. Mine was a 5.
Okay, fine. You notice nothing. Carry on.
He comes back up with a very oily-looking rag, going, "It's about the best I've got. I'm not really much of a clothes place.
Oh,
You could have this."
give it
Okay.
here.
Seed's going to kind of poke at the oil on the rag and say, "This substance, this wouldn't happen to be a moisturizer, would it? Apparently I need that on my face."
Well, it's certainly a lubricant. I wouldn't suggest putting it on your face.
Don't worry. Faeza just does a quick prestidigitation. I think she'll just. What could she use? I know. She one of her.
Wait,
42
do it
pockets.
after you buy the rag, otherwise he'll put the price up if it's clean.
Oh, we're not buying it. We refuse to buy it.
So he hands it to
Yeah.
Seed and goes, I guess you can take this for continuing the research. And once cleaned, you will have a ragged, cheap scarf.
Okay.
That's long enough that you can wrap it around a few times. if you choose to.
Faeza has a little tube that she pulls out before she cleans it, and she puts it into the top of the tube, and then she pulls it out, and then it's clean. Actually, she does the prestidigitation.
Lovely. And you now have a ragged, cheap scarf.
Okay, so Seed is going to take the scarf and do what, in their opinion, is a less conspicuous solution by kind of winding it round their head, but not maybe in like the kind of fashionable way that you might expect someone who knew what they were doing with it, more looking like a mummy by the time they're finished. But because
Just
the skin is
enough
covered, they're
eyesight.
like, yes, this is the desired effect.
Okay.
Okay.
Looks good.
You
Well,
can't
is there
see the
anything
purple
else?
now, yes?
No, that is definitely a result.
So now I
mean-
look like a normal human.
Well-
I guess.
It's covered the purple. I think it's done really well. Okay. And humans are not purple, so if we can't see the purple, then that's good.
Exactly. Normal human headgear. Good stuff.
Right, well, you two, this has been a pleasure of sorts again. It's great to get some feedback on the potions. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Not today. I don't think. I think yeah. Well, I'm fine.
Oh, well, in that case,
Um,
I look forward to hearing from you. Let me know how it goes. I think you've got 4 of those potions left.
That is an excellent question.
It was either 2 or either 3 or 5.
I believe I have 2.
Marvellous. Well, I look forward to seeing how the results of those next time you pop through. That'd be very exciting.
I will be sure to show you the next colour I turn.
Oh, yes, that's pretty interesting. And he's just instantly pulled out a little notebook, and you can see him furiously scribbling. Out of interest, how much better did you feel after drinking it?
It is hard to put an exact number on it, as that is not really a normal human thing to do. But I did feel significantly better, and my wounds greatly improved.
Significantly better. Interesting. You can see him scribbling, and he seems to be completely ignoring the 2 of you now.
Right. Each done if
and
you
then
left the shop.
We'll step outside. I think so. Anyway.
All right.
Yeah,
As soon as that door closes, like almost comically, as soon as it closes, Ripper comes flying through the door, like the basically almost takes the bell off, right? Walks up to the counter, throws down a bag of 140 gold pieces, and goes, "I wield a staff. I'd like a jug full of molten armor. What you got for me?
Oh, 140 gold.
Make it quick."
Right, hang on.
Either or.
And he starts rummaging through the things he's still got.
130 pieces.
130. Well, no,
125.
you're making it harder to give you things, not easier, I have to say.
120.
Yeah, at this point, you'd pretty much be able to afford this. And he holds up a jade butterfly.
All right, thanks, mate. Takes the gold and walks out.
Okay, you're all standing outside.
Well, that was certainly an efficient shopping trip.
It was worth a shot, you know.
Did
He
he
clearly
manage to
didn't have anything
help?
for me.
Did he manage to help Seed?
Oh, look, it's helped loads.
Yes.
Oh,
And
six-
Faeza just sort of.
I assume.
I've had a thought.
Faeza-
Can I please have your hand a second?
Yeah, you guys all come back together at this point, kind of
And
at your
Six
location.
goes like, "Monster!" and he pulls out his sword as dog, step
Six.
away.
Six. They're still wearing the same clothes. It's Seed.
Ah, yes. Just a little joke, you know, just a little. With a little army joke we tell when somebody changes their headgear, you know, just a little in joke to the.
No, wait, you mean if I... Sorry, do you think I'm a monster if I wear the scarf like this? Am I wearing it wrong?
No.
Is that a
Just
monster
a
way?
normal
No.
human joke, you know, normal human joke you get in the army.
Okay, because I'm not a monster. That's very important. I'm
Six,
not
can you make an insight check, please?
16 on insight.
You haven't known Seed very long, but they seem genuinely distressed at what you've just said.
Lack jumps down off the thing, and he squeezes his brother's shoulder. He jumps down off the thing, and he goes, "What he meant was," and he takes out these two little pins, and he pins the scarf so it looks a little bit more like an Indiri veil. And he said, "You know, my mother always used to say, if you don't do yourself up, you look like a monster, huh? You got to do it properly, huh? If you're gonna do it properly." Now this, and he wriggles it about a little bit, and he tears a little bit more of his top off. He keeps doing this for Seed, and he pins them to the side, so there's two saffron bits hanging down by the side. You look beautiful now. That's what my brother meant, huh? You're gonna do it. Look good.
Okay, so this way, this is the human way, yes?
This is the Indiri way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I like the Indiri way.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's the Indiri way.
What'd you get us? Couple of horses?
Yes, this is cousin and second cousin.
Nice. What? I'm gonna I don't know what
I
you do
don't
with horses,
understand.
like rubber
How are
snout
they-
or something like that.
So make an animal handling check there, please, Ripper. So you now have two, for the price you paid, you pretty much got like cart horses. They're certainly not war horses or racing horses, but they're not shy horses either. They're run-of-the-mill fantasy game cart horses.
Ripper's just about to get kicked in the testicles by one.
What did you roll there, Ripper?
I got a 1 + 2. I got a 3 in total.
Oh dear.
Seed, I've had a.
So you take 3 points of piercing damage as you go to rub the horse's face, and it's startled, not knowing you, and it kind of just bites at you, which is quite unhorsey, and you just get a little nip on one of your hands.
No, cousin, come on.
It's a love bite.
come
It's a
on.
love bite, huh?
That's our most good Saturday night start, or whatever the equivalent of Saturday is in this world, because we haven't figured out what days are named yet.
Yeah, it's long. We'll call it Saturday for now. We'll go through the days. another
Sanjal
season.
Bahar, whoever it's called.
Are you struggling to communicate with this animal?
Well, like, you know, some like it hot, some like it cold, some like it rough, some like it not.
I don't think that's what she's getting at. Seed, please accept my apologies for earlier on. I hope my brother has made it a bit clearer what I meant.
Oh no, that's okay.
Maybe you could do me a favor and let us know if these animals are looking forward to traveling with us. Maybe let them feel comfortable. I don't know, is that something you would like to do?
I would be happy to. I look forward to hearing what their voices sound like.
So do I. Oh, next campaign, this spell is banned. Okay, I'm assuming you cast Speak with Animals.
I do, and I'm very sorry.
No, you're not.
Hang on. I just now need to look up horses' intelligence stats. Okay, what would you like to say?
Hello, my name is Seed, and I'm a bard, human bard. What is your name?
Buttercup.
Hello, Buttercup. That is a beautiful name. I just wanted to fill you in on the situation. We would like you to travel with us. Is that okay?
Suppose.
You don't seem very excited about the prospect of a journey.
Thing on my back. Big. Heavy.
Oh, is it too heavy?
Smelly.
Oh, it's smelly. I can't
Who's
do a
currently
great
on
deal
the
about
back?
that.
Is it Ripper?
You don't. You haven't. You smell strange. No smell.
Well, yes. I suppose that is true. It's
What
a
is
little
the what's that?
difficult. Smells can be a little challenging for me because you see, I don't technically have the bits required to smell things, so I'm sort of having to infer from context what you mean.
So when you, for everyone else, this is basically.
I was going to say, can I just, can I have that from both of you two, please?
Yeah.
What that'd be like, just one sentence.
Oh, what, me as well?
Yeah, you as well, yeah.
I'm now regretting speaking.
Yeah.
And this will have to happen
isn't it?
every
How to
time.
turn it
Every
round.
time, like the camera will switch around, and you'll get a perspective from us of you just talking animal to someone.
Brilliant.
That was dedicated.
Perfect.
Thank you for that.
Correct.
Yeah,
It was
that was
good. It was good.
We've gained three new watchers just on that alone.
So what was the host saying? First cousin? What was first cousin saying? Anything interesting?
So firstly, first cousin is not called first cousin at all. First cousin is called Buttercup.
Well, that's a lovely name.
Well, I prefer first cousin, but okay.
Also, Buttercup seems a little apprehensive about the journey. They don't seem entirely comfortable with the load on their back at the moment.
Is that
I heard a fable about this. Usopp was his name. Usopp's Fables.
Oh, soups.
I don't think we need to... It's fun to talk to the animals, but we don't have to listen to the animals.
Octavius
suppose-
tries to rearrange the straps slightly so it's more comfortable.
In fact, Six and Octavius, you've probably got the most experience around horses. Can you two just make me an animal handling check, please?
Of course.
This is more of like an insight
I'm
thing,
gonna
but
use
we're
a
just going to
different
see
dice.
if you can do it.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
A natural one.
You've never been good with animals, Octavius.
No.
That's still
For a
plus.
druid, that's ridiculous.
Hey, it was infantry. Maybe it's just
Six,
infantry.
you kind of get
Six.
a sense that in your experience, you weren't a captain of the horse guard or anything, but you know that horses are just kind of mardy as a personality. They've just got, if they were a person, they'd be that person that you're like, hey mate, you won 30 quid on the lottery, and they'd be like, yeah, it's not the Euros, so is it not the jackpot? They're just, horses are inclined towards melodrama and moaning, at least
Do you
in
know
your
what you do?
experience.
Ignore them. Even calling one first cousin, doesn't matter what their names are. Ignore them. They'll get their purpose from a good load on their back and a good journey behind them. Once we get outside of the city and we go, they will perk up. They will find their peace. They're animals that need to be used. Otherwise, they are bored and they have ennui. So we just go. Forget them. But thank you, Seed. Very nice to know that the animals are still animals.
Octavius, so I wonder if you get this. Well, I sidle up to Octavius and I'll say this to him and he's like quietly, so no one else can hear. I'd be like, "Well, mate, as is for a pun, yeah, I'm used to horses without the e." Yeah, you get it? Did you get it?
I get it. I get it.
All right, yeah, nice one, mate. Yeah.
At that moment, a rather large group of crickets just jumps out of the park of like the under the table and just springs
Tumbleweed.
up.
Lack
Many
kicks
by
a tumbleweed, yeah.
All right, I'll start loading the cart.
Okay, Sue's going to turn back to Buttercup and say, I have just been helpfully informed. that you will in fact find your purpose from having a load on your back and going on this journey with us. Isn't that lovely?
The horse looks at Six with... I mean, Six, can you roll me an insight check?
Yes. All right. Well, he got a dirty 20 last time, but this time he got a 5 for insight. So
It's a horse looking at you, mate. But
and even if he got a 20, he's now switched off. He's like horse looking at me. That's all it is. Doesn't matter.
But see, do you get the sense as Buttercup goes, guess let's get on with it then. That the horse is it's a horse.
Cool. Faeza's just gonna turn to Toots, give her a little scratch under the chin, and just go, "Okay, shall we get ready then?" And the scales, which are mixed materials like wood and steel, they ripple down her back, and then but some of them slide to the sides, and they make a very comfortable seat, a saddle, so not parky. And Toots holds one of her front paws just flipped backwards. Faeza steps in it and jumps on the back.
And that's why you play in Gnome Artificer.
Interesting to know, I found out, is pangolins walk on their knuckles on their front feet.
They do, on their front feet, on their front paws, because they've got such long claws. They have to curl them under. So when they do, so most of the time they walk on their rear feet. But then if they need to, they use the front, but they use.
And Faeza is so light that actually Toots is still on her hind legs. She's walking along pretty comfortably, looking around, kind of sniffing the horses interestedly.
Sort of like a tauntaun. Is that what it is? Like where it's sort of upright? Is that a thing?
No. So it's like a pangolin it's almost like the pangolin is almost half tail. So the tail kind of acts as like a little what's the word I'm trying to think of? Counterweight. Thank you very much. Like a counterweight. So her head is still quite close to the ground, but her feet are curled under, and so she's sort of quite level still. So it is like riding the back of us like a horse or something.
Which is why you get the evil villain effect.
Yeah. Like they have their paws like this, their claws like this usually together in their front.
Animal facts and D&D.
There you go. You see.
There's got
man.
to be a pangolin fact every episode now.
Can I just predict that, obviously when we've got 20 billion followers, we'll have more than people on the planet. We'll have the Pangolin Crew t-shirts and the Kale Crew t-shirts.
Yeah, Kale Crew.
I'll be a member of
This is an image of what I've just described. That I've got a dice box, which is a picture of pangolin. So that's what we're talking about, ish.
Gorgeous. Thank you.
Hey.
So you managed to load your scant, meagre goods onto the carriage, and with a destination of Shade Mantle in mind, unless there is anything else you would like to do in Cinderbane.
Lack looks around and says very loudly, "We should probably get moving before someone steals our cart and horses, huh?"
Octavius, before we set off, Octavius is going to walk up to Cedar and says, "I've been trying to talk to you now for at least 10 minutes," and just puts his hand on her shoulder and casts Lesser Restoration. To try and remove the purple skin.
With Lesser Restoration, the skin colour fades and returns to normal.
Okay, so Seed obviously at this point is still covered up. But basically kind of like tentatively kind of has a look at their hand, and it gets very excited and then reaches for the scarf on their face and goes, do you mind just having a look at a little bit for me? The only thing is, I don't want to undo all of the good work making this a normal human headgear if I'm still purple. Could you just check? Am I?
Just gently pull it down. Check, see if under the eye is still purple.
It's now Seed's natural, perfectly normal human skin colour.
It's gone back to normal.
Oh, okay. Lack, I'm terribly sorry. Because you've done such a lovely job. But you know what? Forget it. This is a normal human headgear. I'm going to wear it anyway.
And with that, the horses are G'd up, and you start clip-clopping your way out of Cinderbane, rejoining the road, heading west. And with that, we are going to take our break. We'll see you back in a few minutes, ladies and gents. Hello and welcome back. So, party, you have just left Cinderbane. As you draw out of the gates, you actually leave via the western gates this time. So you leave through the airs on the main road, or the road that leads out towards the old pass, heading towards the road north to Shade Mantle. As you leave, the weather is fairly reasonable. And would someone like to make me roll a d20 just to see how the first day's travelling goes for me, please?
Is that survival? Or just a d20?
Just a d20 for now.
Okay. I'll roll that, sure.
Go for it.
4. In keeping with my really low rolls.
What is... I mean, this is a cursed roll.
I have not rolled above a 5 this entire session.
Or last
session. Last session when you were awful as well.
I feel like Brad, you're due one, man. Octavius is due one, and it's gonna be like at the most epic moment, isn't it?
I think you need to actually make a blood sacrifice to Circa or a Luria or something to actually get some.
Yeah.
Get that mistletoe. Drop it with the mistletoe.
Leave some blood out my front door.
Okay, with a 4,
Jesus Christ.
as you head head west. Towards mid-afternoon, what you notice is that the very kind of brown grass that had been kind of slightly more common around Cinderbane starts to slowly turn green, although it is this sort of dull green of autumn, as the autumnal weather seems to be returning to there's a light drizzle that starts up. Other than that, there's not really a lot happens that first day. You get to the end of the day, you make camp in a safe space. And is there anything you'd like to do? Otherwise, we can just say you rest.
Does it count as a long rest?
Yeah, that's your long rest.
Oh my god, I get those. Back
To use the right tool for the job, and make a cartography tools, if that's all right, and start to take a note of our journey so far, so we know where we're going.
Okay, in one of your notebooks, you start scribbling rough maps and things.
Which I forgot I have proficiency in, by the way.
That's fine. Well, you can help her if you'd like around the campfire. Would you like to roll me a... this will be a cartographer's tools check. So for you, that's dexterity plus your proficiency bonus.
So that'll be a +3. No, wait, what? Proficiency bonus?
Which would be +3 by
+2.
now.
Yeah, +2, +3. Yeah, no, I'm still a +2.
Oh, +2, you're not level 5
bonus
yet,
at level. Oh, I should have just taken that. Never mind. Too honest.
Tired.
13 altogether.
Yeah, you managed to make a pretty reasonable map of the location, some nice doodles of some of the hills around you. Something that you will notice is the quality of the roads around here is much improved from the road you were on earlier. You start to see semi-regular patrols of legionnaires bearing the same insignia as those that you'd seen in Cinderbane, although towards the end of the day they become slightly less as you get further and further into the wilderness. That first night seems to pass without incident, and you get to your second day of travel. Would someone like to roll me a d20, please?
Not Octavius.
Not you.
Yes, not me.
I got D20 in hand. I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a 1.
Okay, so you managed to travel. Let me just double check it that way. Okay, so you managed to travel for most of the day when suddenly first cousin decides to bolt and starts kind of pulling at his harness, and the wagon starts shaking, and you hear and the wheel just crumbles off.
First, can Six do that thing that every hero in a fantasy film does, where they have to calm the horse down?
Whoa there, boy!
Yeah. And suddenly it makes them like the hero because they've tamed a wild horse.
Well, let's see. Make an animal handling check.
Damn it! I was going to ask Octavius to turn into a sexy horse and try and lure them back again, but it's not gonna work, is it?
Like some Bugs Bunny thing.
Yeah.
16. Six got a 16 in animal handling.
So as first cousin seems to be kind of bucking up and pulling and driving the wagon into the rut that seems to have broken the axle, you do manage to reach out and just slowly calm with kind of a series of stroking on the side and staring it in the eye, and first cousin calms down a little bit.
Did you say the wheel broke as well?
Yeah, axle's completely
Right.
snapped.
Ripper's gonna jump onto the. Ripper's gonna grab Faeza. You think you can fix us up? Yeah.
Well, she pulls out woodcarver's tools.
I think
from
Ripper's
from
gonna do
pocket
that thing where he puts his hands behind the cart, gets into like a deadlift position.
Whoa! I need to check I've got wood. I need to make sure I've got the materials first.
On!
I've got to check I've got the materials.
Ripper, make me a strength check.
Octavius is going
That's
to turn into a hawk again and circle the area and check that we're safe while this is going on.
Okay, you make me a perception check. Go on.
It was a 19 on the strength check.
19. So you are currently holding the wagon.
Faeza is going to pull her wood carving tools out of pocket number 17, and she's going to have a look around and see if she can find any materials to use.
That how broken is the wheel?
Completely
Need to
sheared off at the
investigate it.
axle.
Just
Okay,
steered
so is
the
the wheel
axle.
still complete?
The wheel itself is fine, but the metal under axle is completely sheared into. And at the moment, Ripper
Oh,
is
so it's
just standing there.
It's all in the legs.
Faeza, you know that thing you did where you repaired my my top? Do you think you could do it in the point where this axle is broken?
I can try. I have a mending cantrip.
1001, 1002, Ripper, really great. 1003, doing well. You're doing well.
What is
Lift from the
mending?
back.
Okay, let me check the wording of the spell.
So
It's
my
literally just footage.
Yeah, it's footage.
spell
but it's...
repairs a single break or tear in an object that I touch.
Yeah.
So 2 halves of a broken key or
an
a
axle.
twig or leaking, as long as the break or tear is no larger than 1 foot in any dimension, which I think it is, so I can mend it with no
You
trace of the form of
absolutely
damage.
can. So as Ripper takes... Can't get my... Oh, drops the dice.
I'm still in there. I'm still
Takes-
holding it.
You can take 3 points of essentially stress damage from holding an incredibly large weight on your own
I can do
for a
it.
long time.
Thanks for offering
Faeza
help, all of
manages to
you.
get one of her magical devices out that with a few kind of clicks and turns it pops out and it manages to essentially jury rig a weld, a soft weld, and this wagon wheel seems to be holding for the moment.
Oh.
Well, Ripper, you can see how you got that body, huh? Good work, good work.
Octavius, how did you do on that perception check?
I got a 23, so
Finally.
About time.
So with your hawk's eyes, you see that there is literally nothing around you. You're just surrounded for a long, long time by kind of grassland, rolling hills. You do see a few mere ribbits kind of hopping around, looking pretty delicious in your hawk form. And in the fast distance, the edge of your hawk's vision, you'd estimate, as a druid, you keep your mental stats, that you'd estimate with, a couple of days away, or about a day away, there seems to be a very small village in the distance. You kind of guess you'd probably be there by tomorrow.
Okay. I stay up in the air for another 2 hours to the limit of my wardship. Come down and I tell the rest of the group.
While that's going on as well, I think like Six just has a little quick moment with Lack, and he goes, I hope this is okay to bring up now, but I was thinking about that child. If you are a bandit, soldier, spy, there's a compact. You know that you accept that you may die or you may kill. But I was thinking, what would Mother do in this scenario? Do you want to make amends in any way? If there was a way to find this person's family or their heirs, maybe, or maybe even their group, is there some way that you would want to, and I would share this burden with you? Is there some sort of way you would like to atone, or maybe offer something in return? I don't know.
It feels like he's part of the system of that city, you know? He was doing what he had to. But if we could, then I would. Yes.
Well, maybe if we return, we can consider it. I don't want you to hold anything like this inside. Sometimes it can be a poison that corrupts the good that may sprout out of you. You know?
Yes, brother. I hear you.
You know?
And Lax doing all of this while we're walking along, like Six is on the horses and Lax kind of walking along with the horses.
To reference,
Okay, you're resuming your journey west then.
to reference something else, maybe offer them some sort of gambling device that runs out in the next 2 hours.
Are you referring to when I gave them in a previous game? I gave a family whose house I destroyed a dice, a gambling dice that put them further in debt when we went back to see them. Yeah, that was terrible. Hey, I tried, man. You know, I tried.
Ripper is laid out in the back of the wagon, feet dangling out the end of it, just recovering.
Black will tickle them every now and again. He'll run behind the thing.
Almost like you're exhausted.
No,
almost like I've had a good workout and I just need a little bit of recovery period.
Yeah, pretty exhausted. And so the rest of that day, you the journey is fine. Aside from your broken axle, you can sense that the wagon's not quite as sturdy as it was. It was a pretty on-the-road fixing, but it seems to be holding pretty well. And you get to camp that evening. Is there anything anyone would like to do?
When the food for the evening is produced, Seed is going to try and take an opportunity at some point when Faeza is somewhere a little bit separate in any way, kind of to the rest of the group. So maybe if Faeza might be like attending to Toots or doing something that might be just a little bit physically away from everyone else, and kind of sidle up to Faeza and say, Faeza, there's something I really wanted to talk to you about.
Hey?
It's a little bit awkward, but I sort of feel like, I mean, let's be honest, you're pretty aware by now that I'm not exactly what we might refer to as a normal human.
Faeza is very curious, but she's so polite. She's just like, well, I mean, yes. What? I mean, yes.
Okay. I am going to be honest with you. I am quite relieved that seems to have been your general reaction to the situation so far. I am a little bit more accustomed to things involving, for example, torches, pitchforks, mobs, that kind of thing. So, if you would permit me to share one more little detail of the situation, I don't exactly...
And Faeza pushes her glasses up her nose.
I don't exactly need food, and I am very conscious that the rest of you do very much require food, and the thing is that this has been happening. And Seed is going to reach inside their shirt and kind of very guiltily show you the results of what has been going on.
Toots comes and eats it all up.
No doubt.
Toots wouldn't eat
Toots
that.
doesn't need food either, does he?
Even Toots wouldn't eat that.
So, I suppose... I'm not really sure this was a particularly effective solution. And I would really rather give my food to somebody else instead of, just kind of popping it in here. Would you maybe like my food?
Maybe not that food. That I don't know if you know that if you're not familiar with food, but food has a life expectancy, and when it becomes bad, it's not good to eat anymore. It has a turning point a little. So So that food probably needs to be buried so that no living creature eats that.
Okay.
And I think maybe from now on, perhaps, I mean, you seem happy to explain this to me, but perhaps what do you use to sustain yourself if you don't use food?
Well, that is sort of an interesting question. I mean, I don't exactly eat anything, but then from what I understand, all of you have a little bit more stuff inside you that I don't have, and I have some stuff inside me that you don't have. So I suppose the thing is that if I were to put something in my mouth and chew it, I assume it would just sort of stay in there. There's really no point. So I'm not exactly doing any kind of consumption, but I suppose the one thing I am doing, which unfortunately I had to share with you at a time of rather big distress, is I am made of lots of parts. All of my parts have come from different places, by which I mean lots of different creatures. And I suppose you could say that that is what I need if I am going to keep going.
Right.
But
okay,
only if
so-
I break them, or at least I think so. That's how it's been so far.
Right. Okay. Like Toots. Toots doesn't eat anything, but when she breaks, I replace a part. So that must be like you. That sounds very similar, and that's not unusual, in my world. So I guess is this a secret that you don't wish to share with the party?
I am not sure. Because
Okay.
my problem is that a lot of people are very uncomfortable about the nature of what I am. You see,
Okay.
your companion Toots is made from wood and metal. I am made from bones.
That's really
And-
interesting.
So conventionally, I suppose the word that a lot of people would use is monster.
That's not fair. I mean, unless it's a special tribe name, I don't know. I've travelled a bit. I'm not sure, but
I definitely don't have
what
a
would
tribe.
you call you? What would you call you?
I would call me Seed.
Okay. Well then, you are Seed. That's fine. So, this is going to be interesting if we want to keep it to secret. But maybe don't shove the food down your top. That's a good thing. We know that doesn't work, so let's not do that. But perhaps maybe you would help with the washing up when we clean things, and that means that you would get the bones from any of our food stuffs. That would work.
Okay, what is washing up?
I know. It's clearing away. When we clear away and we clean out our mess tins and so on when we're eating, I think that works.
I can do
As
that.
an
I can
explanation.
clean the things.
Okay, and that might be a useful way for you to get your sustenance. And when it comes to eating is a very communal thing. I've noticed, even from my life of living with a hermit. Let's face it, my center was a traveler. But when we travel to the different places, often people share food as a way of greeting and saying hello and saying thank you, and sharing that way. So maybe we need to come up with a way of disguising that. But that's okay. I'll have a think. In the meantime, Faeza takes the would you mind? Takes the little scarf that she was wearing before, and she uses the mending spell to make it into a little pouch. Perhaps use this for now, and she gives that to her.
Okay.
And we'll have a think. There must be a way to do this. Don't worry.
I knew you would
I
have a
know.
solution. You are a very clever person.
I know. And she picks up. Let me think. Would there be twigs and stuff around, or like
Sure,
long
yeah.
grass stuff?
Definitely.
Okay, I'll just say. So she picks something up, and she uses her tinkering tools to make it into a straw, but she puts a little block in it so no liquid can come up. And she goes, if you say you have a toothache, then maybe you can put this straw in and use that to drink, and then people think you're drinking but you're not, and that will help.
I told you
That's
would
a
have a
start.
clever solution.
It's a start. We'll see what else we can come up with. We'll be all right.
I like this straw very much. Thank you.
And
You're
with that,
welcome.
we cut back to the campfire as the rest of you are sitting and talking. Is there anything else anyone wants to do this evening?
Lack is.
during-
So go on. You go
I
first,
was going to say,
Octavius.
during my watch, I would like to almost meditate and try and commune with the spirit in some way, even if it doesn't succeed.
Okay. Can you make me an Arcana check, please?
$13.
So, whilst you see Seed off talking to Faeza, Lack and Six are talking with Ripper. They seem to be sharing some story. You just zone everyone else. You're quite close to them, but you just sit down, staring into the heart of the fire. And as you're staring, your bird appears, and for a moment, there's a symbiosis passing in between you, and you can sense it.
It's the first time I've done this, so I'm going to break contact as soon as I sense something.
And what you sense is, it is a presence, but the sort of the, you've changed shape before through your druidic training. You sense a sort of like a slight youthfulness to the spirit. It's like an inquisitive young animal that's been a bit neglected. You sense that it's really desperate to make that connection, and
I break the connection even quicker. Yeah, I'm too scared of it.
It disapparates.
Now I go to sleep.
Okay.
So Lack has been sitting with Ripper and Six, and everyone's gone to sleep, and Octavius taking the first watch, and Lack pretended to go to sleep and watched all of this, just like through pretending eyes. And the moment Octavius fell asleep, he got back up and he leaves just the area of light around the campfire, and he sits in his crouch, the super uncomfortable crouch. I still want to get used to it. And he takes his bamboo spear, and he takes the end off the bamboo spear, and he pulls off the hand wrappings on his left hand, and he takes the tip of the bamboo spear and he drags it across his skin and makes another cut next to the other ones that are on there, and he wraps his hand wrappings, binds them tightly, almost like a ritual. He puts the spear down, and he takes out the lead box and looks around to make sure no one's watching him.
Can you just make a slight stealth check and see? Just make sure you can be quiet enough.
22.
No one is noticing this. Everyone is definitely asleep.
Yeah, not even me.
He opens the box and the shards inside, and he looks at it and he takes it out with his hands and holds it and looks at it and looks at the stars reflecting off of it, and it's the way it moves and shapes. And he looks down at his bamboo spear underneath, like dirty two-shot. You're moving one to the other, and he sees the end of the bamboo spear with no tip on it, and he just looks between the shard and the
as you're looking
Sphere.
between the two, a voice appears in your head. No, you recognise the voice from yesterday and or a few days ago, and it just says, "Ah, hello again. It seems you are playing with dangerous things. What is it that you wish?"
I just want to protect my friends.
"Ah, this is a noble cause. And what would you do to protect them?"
My life, with great joy.
Of course, of course. Well, the thing that you hold may well be able to help you.
And he just touches the spear and the shard together.
As you do, the shard itself, I said, it's kind of got that glass-like quality, as though it's kind of rainbows and supernovas inside. It seems to almost turn liquid for a moment and runs over the spear. And as you kind of look, suddenly the spear is moved away, and the spear has this angular shard at the top. The main shard seems to be a tiny bit smaller, and as you turn it, in the starlight, it slightly glows, and it's infused with the same rainbow-like, slight bluish tinge, and you're now holding a shard and the tipped spear.
He takes the binding that normally has his thing to put people off, and he ties it around the bamboo spear, puts it behind his back, puts the shard
I will be
back
watching
in the
you
box.
with great interest. I think we have much in common.
And he shuts the box hard, quick. Looks around.
Brother, are you over there? Are you okay?
I'm
Six has
fine,
got a
I just-
hand on the urn, mother's urn.
Yeah. I was just having some bad dreams there.
Go back to sleep, Go back to sleep.
Okay.
And he curls up.
The morning comes around fresh and beautiful, and you make your third day's travel. This day flies by really easily, as does the fourth. And you're getting towards the afternoon on the fourth day of travel when you are... Octavius, you kind of figure you're not too far away from the village that you had seen when you were in hawk form. It'd been a little bit further than you thought, but it's early days going hawk yet. You haven't quite got the distances figured out. And as the cart is rolling down the open road, very well maintained Legion Road, you find a small, scruffy peasant running out in just his simple tunic, covered in cuts and scrapes, hair completely dishevelled, and he runs and just falls by the cart. He goes, please, help my family, you've got to help them."
Ripper's going to jump down from the cart and pick this.
Insight check while this is happening. Six wants to insight check.
And what are you
him
trying to insight?
to see if he's telling the truth and it's really his family that's
Okay.
in peril.
Sure, make an insight check.
19 in total.
This poor guy looks terrified.
All
Looks
right,
like
bruv,
he's
all
telling
right,
the
bruv.
truth.
All right, bruv. Chill out,
Let's
chill
go,
out, yeah,
let's
chill
go.
out, chill out,
Which
chill out.
way?
What's going on, mate? What's going on?
Please, in the village, my family are trapped in a house. You've got to get them out.
Oh, what's did this to you?
The villagers, please, quickly, there's no time.
No, Lack's just gone in the direction.
Okay.
Brother, keep up.
We should
I will.
possibly do it
Octavius,
quick.
could you turn into a hawk and go and scout out from the air?
Yes, of course.
Faeza and Toots lumber after Lack.
Okay, at this point, I'm going to get everyone to roll initiative, just because this is a timed event. So I want to make sure that the things we do are fair.
I've got 18. Oh, sorry.
Okay, well, hang
We
on.
do
let
the
me
thing,
write this
don't we,
down.
to the
We do
order.
the thing. Yeah. So
Yeah, we do the thing.
25 to 20.
23.
23
Ooh, what are your dexes, chaps?
plus 4.
Well, bear in mind you're in hawk form, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, good point. No, but I keep all my stats. 'cause
Oh, cool.
Yes. So this will be
+5
Lack
for me.
first, and then Octavius. Okay.
Nice roll.
And so 20 to 15.
18.
18.
19 for Ripper.
Okay. Okay. 15 to 10.
Sorry, I realise I don't know if you caught my note. I'm in the 20 to 25 bracket. I'm 22.
22. Sorry, I
All
didn't
over
hear
it,
that
aren't we?
seed.
All over it.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. And 6, what did you get? 3. Oh, this fight has been slow on initiative a few
You
times. now.
have not had a good initiative.
I
He
know.
just
I
likes
think
to,
you rolled about
he likes
10.
to check the battlefield before acting.
Sure. Okay, so you are currently, you see the village about 120 yards away. Through these autumnal trees, you're just peeking the hill. You can just see the top of 2 buildings cresting over. Lack, you are up first.
If it's that far away, I'm going to run full pelt, which is quite
90.
fast.
Oh no, 60,
100.
isn't it, at this stage? 100 at this stage.
Yeah, 50
of
foot and
course.
50 foot, yeah.
Fantastic. So you take your full movement to get there. You're only about 20 feet away. Octavius, you're going hawk and flying?
Yes, so that's 120 feet flying movement total.
Okay. So is that using your action to move as well?
Yes.
Okay, so
I'm basically
120
going to
feet.
keep up with Lack
Yeah.
and keep and watch over.
So you manage to get just over, like just a little bit over, and you crest the hill and see the village. Seed.
Yeah, I'm gonna run basically as fast as possible.
Okay, your movement's 30, isn't it? So it's
Yeah,
going to be
so-
60 feet. So you're about halfway there, as it is. Ripper?
So we don't lose them again, Ripper's going to jump onto the carriage with the horses, and while
Yeah.
standing, give it a hi-yah and try and get them to run in the direction, because otherwise we're going to
Interesting.
lose that carriage.
Make me an animal handling check.
I will indeed. That is a 19.
So the horses managed to move. I'm going to say you managed to move with the weight of the horses. It's a little bit slower, but you managed to get 50 feet at least off the road. You're starting to kind of go up a hill to crest it, so it's a little bit slower. The horses are moaning a little bit, but you can get that 50 feet, no problem.
I'll take that. It's better than my movement anyway.
Okay. Faeza.
I'm still mounted on Toots. Sorry, that slipped me. And she's got travel of 40 foot at a time. So
Okay.
and Toots is going to run.
So that gets you 80 foot of the way there if you use your movement and your action to get there. So you are now currently 40 feet away. 6.
I was going to do the horse thing, but
Nice.
it's working. But it's working.
Do you want me to reach out and pull you up onto the thing?
Yes!
Yeah,
Do
that'd
it.
be cool. Yeah, let's
Okay.
do that. Yeah.
So you are both on the horses.
Yeah.
Again, that puts
Both-
you out 50 feet away, but that means you still have your action left. 6.
What sort of light do we have? What sort of time of day is it?
It's getting towards twilight, but there's still enough light that you can see fairly clearly. You are essentially the main road. You've kind of come off that. You've done down this grassy verge, and you're now cresting a hill. You can see the tops of 2 buildings where the village is.
I'd like to try and, just in the waning light, I'd like to try and sweep up a stone and use my light cantrip to infuse it with light and throw it like a flare, so that hopefully it will give advantage to anyone if there's any surprise attacks or anything. Or
Okay, what I would say is it's not dark enough for the light cantrip to make a difference. It's, say, before twilight. There's still plenty of light there, but you can absolutely do that if you would like.
Can you give the horses another? Yeah.
No, the horses have
Okay.
moved as part of your movement.
can I sort of ready like an action that if I see if there's any height required, or maybe a surprise, like I can leap off the horse when I get there then. So I'm under ready that if I see anyone that is in danger, I can leap into the fray, or if there's someone in the building above, I can maybe try and leap up to the.
Okay, so as it is, you are currently 70 yards away. 70 feet away. Let's try and keep movement measurements consistent. It's about 70 feet away. So on your next turn, you would be leaping off 70 feet away from everyone else.
I assume that's not a particular.
Because in my turn, I'll be bringing the horses towards it. So as long as between now and then.
But that's in the next initiative round, so we lose that because he's last in the round. Readying an action. It's till your next turn.
It's to the end.
Yeah, it's the next turn. You might get his go again after that.
Yeah,
which would be
that's
quite
fine.
Helpful, yeah.
Yeah, okay, you can have that ready to jump off.
Cool.
So we're going to get back to the top of the order. You can use 20 feet of movement. And as you do, what you find is, if you would like to switch over to Foundry, please, I will activate the map. That might take a minute to kick in. It has been preloaded, so it should be there. For everyone else, please refresh your Foundry.
Nice.
You crest the hill to find yourself between two white buildings with red tiled roofs. You're looking down into a village square, and you see a lot of people. Maybe 15 people, except as you take a closer look at them, they don't seem to look okay. And then one of them just turns around, and you notice that part of their skin is sloughed off of their face. It's rotten and grey. Their clothes are covered in soil and dirt, and you are standing in a village square surrounded in front of you.
Okay, this doesn't look good. Which is the house I'm meant to go to?
There are 4 houses. You see to your immediate left a small house that seems to have a large horde. That's a nice collective now. A large horde of these slightly cadaverous looking creatures just pounding on the windows and the doors. You see 2 other houses to the northwest and the northeast that already seem to have shattered windows. You see a circular house or a round house to your right that seems to have a couple of these creatures wandering outside and seems to be moving towards it.
Okay.
He didn't actually tell you which house.
Right, fine. So I am going to be ridiculous. 5, 10,
Sure.
15, 20, 25, 30. I can actually move to exactly where I want to move. And it's out. I want to move to the southwest house, but I want to move through in between the 2. There's 2 sort of zombies stood. There's one right at the front door, which looks like
Don't say the Z word.
Sorry, cadaverous.
So I'm
sloughing
quoting
skins.
Shaun of the Dead there.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Can I stand in between those 2? If that's
so
possible.
The 2 that are kind of they're sort of like making an L shape. Yeah,
Perfect.
absolutely fine. Yeah,
absolutely there. I don't know whether that one that I run by gets an attack of opportunity on me as I run by it.
Absolutely would.
Going to be honest.
It's for the best. I'm moving all the miscellaneous dice out of the way, and is absolutely going to whiff. What you do notice as you kind of run past, streaking this blur of saffron, is that this other creature whips around quickly and yet and grabs towards you very quickly.
Okay, so that's why we're not using the Z word. They're like 28 days later Zs. Right, so
maybe use the G word.
As I run, so I sweep really low, like it's like almost like the splits as I go past him to pick up them. I don't know what gender they are. So I drop in between those 2, and I my back goes again. I'm trying to remember back to the temple, and the arms burst out. I spend that key point, go inside myself. The arms burst out and hit everything within a 10-foot radius, which all need to make a dexterity save.
Okay, so a 10-foot radius. Let's mark that on the map. Is going to be that's a 5-foot radius. That would be a 10-foot radius. So that is 4, 5, What's the DC?
It's 15, I think.
Okay, one of them fails. I got 3 nat 20s in those rolls.
Well, I'm glad they
What a
used them on
waste.
that. Is all I can say.
It's
I'm glad they
stealing.
used
Set
them.
that,
Johnny
Just
is
them up
set
on
that
that.
dice
Yeah.
aside.
I'd like to say Johnny is stealing all of my luck. He's stealing.
Genuinely not.
Well, that means
Okay.
that all the others avoid me from that happening, and the other one that failed takes 6 points of force damage.
Okay, so you slam, these arms just burst out of you again. And again, you can almost hear that voice whispering, but it's indistinct in the rush of everything else happening around you. And these arms just lash out in different directions in what would be like some cool sweeping attack around you. And but you're a little unused to
Yeah,
it,
it's
and the
new.
balance just throws you a tiny little bit. But one of them does clobber one of the creatures directly in front of you, nearest the house, that had banging on the door, and its head just gets pushed to the side. It goes slamming into the wall and falls back, and it looks pretty shaken.
Okay. Well, I shall press the attack on that bad boy, and my spear will come. It's really cool. So one set of hands pulls it out, the other set of hands pulls it over, and the third set of hands jams it into the thing in front of me. Well,
Make an attack roll,
attempts to
please.
do that, of course. Yes, okay. 23.
And that hits.
That is 10 points of damage.
Okay. So as you use your new spear for the first time, you slam it into this creature, and your hands just drive it straight through the creature's breast. And as it drives in, whereas before you've hit things with your spears and there's been the resistance of flesh, this just slides in like a hot knife through butter, and you just feel whatever it is in the creature just exhale, and its eyes just seem to almost glitch for a moment, and then it just drops to the ground and does not move.
That's everything I can do that round. I'm done.
Marvellous. Octavius, you are currently floating above, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 of these creatures floating around. You can also see from your position 4 what look like dogs. Feral, angry dogs, bits of their fur missing. They've got the same cadaverous jawline, but you are floating above as a hawk. What would you like to do?
I've managed to get it working in Firefox, so I can see what's going on. Haha.
Welcome.
It took ages. Okay, so I would like to land sort of north westish of where Lack is.
Okay.
So
In
I'm
the
not.
empty space by the other house?
So I'm within 10 foot of the dog and 2 Z-words.
Okay.
You know what I mean? In the
Yeah.
right, like bang in the middle. Yeah.
Like there. Okay, so
Yeah.
that is directly between the southeastern house and the southwestern house and the northwestern house.
Okay. Give me a second. Oh, can you see that?
I can see that.
Delete that. That was an accident.
I think there we go. I can delete that. There we go.
So I want to cast Burning Hands, which is a 15-foot cone.
Yeah.
Which should catch 1 dog, 1 zombie, and 1 zombie, right? If I blast it out directly east. Just out. But get those 2, would it?
So yeah, you land, and with this shimmering form Lack, you just see this hawk streak to the ground, shimmer, and there's Octavius, who's not even reaching for his weapon, just opens up his hands, and this cone of fire just erupts forwards and just incinerates this. Well, we don't know yet, but just
Dexterity
engulfs
saving throw.
these 2 creatures. It's a 15 and a 19.
Which the 15 succeeds
Okay,
and the 19 succeeds.
so they'll take half.
So they'll take half, which is 5 points of damage.
So this flame just bursts out, and one of these cadavers turns around, and suddenly half its arm, the flesh is just sheared off, and you see grey rotting bones underneath. You hear whimpering from this dog as, again, its fur, what remaining fur it had, is just burned off, and the smell of burnt hair and flesh fills the air. Octavius, is that your turn?
That is my turn, because it costs my bonus action to remove wild shape.
Okay. Seed, you are currently about 50 foot back, I believe.
Okay, so if I'm 50 feet away...
You'd be next to the horses.
What I'll do is I'll run 30 feet.
Okay.
And then that should bring me close enough. I mean, to be fair, I think I was close enough anyway, therefore, to shoot an arrow.
Well, you are just... So, about to explain it, you're cresting a hill. So when you crest the hill, you'll look down and see this, and the very southernmost tip of the map is the crest where you can now see.
Okay.
So you can see the tips of the houses. You can fire a speculative shot. I could say you could make it at disadvantage if you wanted to.
No, I think if I'm literally just seeing tips of the houses, then I've still not got enough context for a shot. So in that case, I will be using the rest to again move another 30 feet in.
So that with your 60 feet of movement, you will just crest the hill and appear at the very southern tip of the map. Okay.
Actually, that's a good point, because then I would have my bonus action at the point where I have seen. In which case, time for some bardic inspiration. I have arrived next to Lack. So, seeing the scene in front of us and sensing the immediate danger, Seed will kind of look to Lack in a bit of a kind of panic, and then quickly up comes the drum, out goes the beat, and have some bardic inspiration.
That's great, lovely, love it.
Take your inspiration dice. Okay, Ripper.
How far can I move these horses?
Make me an animal handling check.
It's gonna come rolling in. They see me rolling.
I want to drift the cart and just take a load with me. That's what I want to do.
Oh, come on, that's beautiful.
You can certainly try.
Oh, yes. I got a dirty 20.
Yay.
I would say with your dirty 20, you managed to spur the animals with your movement enough that they now kind of shrug off the weight. Now they're getting some speed up, and you can crest the hill, and you are at the top of the hill, and you still have your action.
I mean, there's like nothing else I can do other than spur the horses on to move again. So I want to try and move them as far as...
So you're going to drive the horses straight into the middle of this village?
Yep. I'm going to drift that cart into a bunch of ghouls.
I've got a leap ready, remember? I've got a leap ready.
Oh, he has, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he's got a leap ready. Chinella drifting.
Chinella
Fast and the Furious 3, Chinella drifting.
This is going to be, you know, in Bollywood movies where the car spins and they open the door and they just walk out.
Walk out. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
Okay.
It's Mission Impossible. Tom Cruise did it as well, didn't he? In one of them.
To like counterbalance the horses, I'll hang off the side of the car.
Tom Cruise did do that, yeah.
Okay. Give me a second. I'm probably going to get the scales completely wrong. It'll do. So, with that, I can't... Okay, something has now gone wrong and I can't deselect that.
Look, I'll drift
There
this
we go.
cart into some ghouls if it means it breaks. Right,
It's
like,
fine.
I'm cool with that. I'm doing it just for the...
I've
I'm
only
doing it
managed
for
to
the
get
rule of cool,
lols.
mate.
Okay, you've got a single horse car showing on the map now. Apologies, I didn't have the dual one ready for the drifting. But I'm going to say then Ripper and Six, you are both on this cart. Six, you can now take a held action. You can leap at the one on your left or on the right of the map as this horse and cart come bounding into the middle of the square about 10 feet out from the village well, smack in the centre, and you find 3 creatures within 10 feet of you, Six.
So how far can I leap, do you reckon? Because...
You can leap that, definitely.
I can leap 10 feet.
Yes.
Then what I want to do is I want to leap down, proper sort of like downward sword. Like in Smash Brothers, the young Link downward.
on top.
I was going to say it's
Down.
that one Bahubali jump he
Bahubali,
does. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the
man.
one stab.
And like 300, when he comes out and his
Yeah.
legs are like out behind
Right.
him, impossible. But I think I'm going to hit that. I'm going
It's
to
the
whack
same
that
leap that
dog.
the Rock makes.
So the dog would possibly be a bit far away. The
Peter's
two
elbow.
to the southeast and the southwest are kind of within your range to leap and get as the cart is spinning a little bit.
Well, in that case, I'm going to have to get the one in the east.
Okay.
One next
So
to me.
towards the roundhouse, you
One east.
jump up and you make your attack roll as you jump in the air.
What sort of attack roll? What am I doing? Just for my
It's an
regular
attack
scimitar?
roll. Yeah.
11. I got 11.
So you jump and you leap and you bring your scimitar down and it drives straight into the creature's shoulder. Can you make your attack, make your damage roll, please?
Can indeed.
Janella drifting,
12.
mate. It's the one.
12 damage.
12 damage!
So as you bring it down, it just shears through the creature and it absolutely does that thing where it splits in two and just falls apart as I accidentally move the horse and cart to get to you. As you leap there, I'll move the horse and cart back.
Bishop style from Battle Chess. Now that is only for the older people. That is definitely for anyone my age.
Don't you mean Harry Potter?
No, I do not. I mean the Bishop in Battle Chess. Hit me up on the chat if you know what I'm talking about.
So 6, that is your held action, means you can only do one thing. Because that was your held action from last turn. So
Okay.
then we move to Seed. It is now your turn.
Okay.
Okay, so now I can see I am going to swap the drum for the bow. And I'm just looking at which one is now closest to one of our party. I think that's going to be the creature west of Ripper.
Mm-hmm.
So that is going to be my target, which I believe is within my range. If I've calculated that correctly.
Just to the west of Ripper. Yeah, you can hit that. The one that's on the other side of Black.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking of the one that I think was technically closer to Ripper, but
Oh, do you
if
mean
that's
C?
out of my range, that's fine.
Closer to 6. Because there's
Have
two. They're both. So there's a dog to the northwest. Sorry, north.
I have just
northeast.
refreshed my Foundry and realised I was entirely wrong because it was lagging about refreshing. I'm sorry, that was my fault. That was me
That's
misunderstanding the positions.
Not at
In
all.
that case, it is going to be the one that is next to Lack,
Okay.
which is west of Ripper. Is that the correct position?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. So that's the one I'm going to aim at. So that's 24.
I mean that hits. Roll damage.
Okay. That's 12.
So, Ripper, as this creature with incredible agility moves out of the way, ducking under one of your spectral arms flying around. As it ducks down, Seed manages to pull back their bow and just release this arrow that just straight through the eye, sending it flying back and pinning it to the wall a little bit, and it just drops.
Nice work, Seed!
No problem. If I am permitted a bonus action and switching back to the drum,
Yeah, I'll allow it.
no, it's a little cheeky.
It's fine.
I would then like to give bardic inspiration to Ripper, who I feel has rather earned that in this past round. So the beat in this case is, now I know in this universe we don't have action movies, but if we did, it would be an appropriate soundtrack.
Getting a little bit Bear McCreary-ish. Da 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 da.
Yeah, I
Nice.
love it.
Okay, I believe I muddled up the order slightly and swapped you two around, didn't I, this time, to allow Ripper the full movement in?
Yes. Yes, you did.
So,
yeah.
sorry, so we are on Faeza now.
Hello. So I'm still mounted on Toots, and
Yep, you're currently
Toots has
40
got,
feet away.
Yeah, so Toots has got movement of 40 feet. So
Yes.
I'd like to use that, please.
Absolutely. So
in.
that gets you, and let me find your token. You and Toots appear at the very southern tip of the map.
Thanks very much. And I think that's used all of Toots' movement. But I would like to jump off. I think I need to refresh to see where I am.
So you're on the very southern tip next to Toots.
It's okay.
Yeah, sort of. It's a bit grey in the areas about Toots using her movement and you still having yours. I've kind of made it that was kind of your movement on Toots, because obviously Toots has better movement than you. Just kind of give you the benefit of the doubt so you could get there a bit quicker. But you've still got your action and a bonus action if you would like it.
That's okay. That's cool. I would like to draw my. I'd like to draw my sling.
Okay.
If I can scoop up 3 pebbles,
Easily
I've got
done.
magic stone. So I'd like which is you touch 1 to 3 pebbles and imbue them with magic. So if thrown, it has a range of 60 feet. And I hit the target takes bludgeoning damage equal to that. Blah blah blah. Yeah, basically.
Okay, so to give you an idea of distance, 60 feet is basically well past the well. It's up to about the tiny garden you can see to the very north.
Oh, that's
So
good
you've
range,
got
isn't it?
quite a good range.
Yes, great. So if I could use my sling attack, then I'd like to aim for. Is the dog hasn't yet been attacked? That's northeast of Ripper.
No, it has not.
Hasn't it? Cool. I would like to do that.
Okay.
Chuck my sling at that, if that's okay.
Make an attack roll then, please.
Happening. Oh no. I've got a 3.
Okay.
Rubbish.
So as you fire was that plus your bonus?
Which bonus?
Because it should be
Is there a spell bonus?
it's your. Oh no, it's a melee attack. Oh no, it might be your spell attack.
Oh, okay. In which case, there's a thing on that, isn't there? That makes it 8, which has got to be a little bit better.
It is better, but sadly not enough. As you jump down off Toots and use the moment to scoop up these stones, imbue them with one hand as you release them with your sling, and they fly. But although you're small, you aimed up thinking that most creatures are bigger than you, but the dog's kind of nearer your height, and it's just kind of they fly harmlessly over, just scattering into the well just behind the dog, and you just hear these impacts of as tiny bits of stonework get impacted. That is your turn. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I think that's it.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
It is then the turn of the as these stones go scattering, you see the dog turn and look, and it's not that intelligent, and it just starts running towards Ripper. It's not quite got enough room to actually dash, but it dashes towards you, and it's going to jump up and attempt to hit you. And as it jumps up, you can smell its fetid breath. You can see the teeth all greyed out and rotting. And you just manage to bat it off with your polearm from atop the cart, just bashing it to the side so it goes smacking in with a... and these foul noises emanating forth. The other one is going to run and jump at Octavius, and it's going to be a 15 to hit.
Misses 17.
So as this burnt one's trying to run, it can't quite get the leap as the fire scalds it, and you just sidestep, moving the flames around, and it dashes rolling round into the ground. The out of a bush to the north, another one runs and takes a leap at you, Octavius, for the exact same roll. So as one hits the ground, it manages to trip the other one, which stumbles over, and it's more kind of snaps harmlessly at you. And the final one, how much distance has it got? Just enough. runs and makes another leap at Ripper. And that is 17 to hit.
That is going to hit.
That is going to hit. So can you take 7 points, please, of necrotic damage as this thing jumps up and you feel it bite down. And I have lost my stat block that I wrote down. Apologies. Ding diddling, ding ding diddling. Can you make a strength saving throw, please?
Yes, yes, I can indeed. That is going to be a strength saving throw.
Yes.
That's going to be a 12.
A 12. So as the one you manage to bat off, the other one takes the advantage to jump, bite into you, and it sends you tumbling off the cart, which is not high enough for you to take full damage, but you are currently prone as this thing is above you, kind of yapping and snarling. You're still holding it off. That is its turn. Six, it is now your turn.
Okay, I'd like to use my movement to move towards the dog that put Ripper on the ground.
So that's the one just to the north. You're going to move past the other one.
Would that? Oh, sorry. Maybe my thing hasn't.
You can
refreshed.
probably roll round it without provoking an attack, though.
Let me just refresh my thingammy.
Round it like Dark Souls.
Yeah.
He'd be fat rolling in his armor.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yes,
I actually know what that means.
I know what that means.
I understood that reference.
Oh, predictably, it's at 90%, isn't it? It has to.
Okay, so basically where the cart is, there are two dogs. One's 10 foot away
So
from
it
you,
was
the other is 15
cart,
foot.
dog.
Yes.
When I looked last, cart, dog.
That's essentially
Right.
it. The dog just to the north. So Ripper is essentially pinned in at the north top left. If you imagine like 4 squares, top left is Ripper with dog, and then cart.
All right, look, I'll have to explain it to you because my Founder's not restarting. But what I'd love to do is I'd love to go for one of the dogs and then try and attack it and use pushing attack and get it into the well. That's what I want to do.
Yes.
What happens if I hit one? I don't know how pushing attack works. I've never used it before, so I'm quite excited. It's one of my battle maneuvers. What happens if I hit like the one nearby me? Oh, thanks for sending the picture through. So if I hit the one nearby,
I think it works. So the one, because we say the other one's kind of picking itself up off the floor at the moment. If you use a pushing attack on the one just to the north, directly below the well, there is a chance. Let's see how the dice play out.
Okay, then if you can move me there.
Yeah, I have done so.
Try. Oh, thank you. Then I shall use a regular attack with my scimitar.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Oh dear. Well, it's 8
total.
Yeah.
So you're slashing.
I rolled a 1.
So if you rolled a 1, and that 1 in combat does mean an automatic miss.
Fuck.
As you're slashing down, you go to bring down another overhand swipe, and you just see Ripper at that point kind of shifting, and you pull back, worried about hitting him in the arm. As you didn't hit, that means you can't use a maneuver, I believe.
Yes, it does.
Is 4th level, though, fighters double attack?
No, that's 5th.
I can use an action surge, though, so I think I will use an action surge.
Okay.
And I'll take an attack to try and repeat my attack on the...
Make an attack roll.
And then I'll go into high guard. You know, or not high guard, when you have a samurai sword like this, you hold it up to go in for one of those. I have no idea what it's called.
Stabby motion.
Stabby.
It's better. It's 16.
That hits.
Oh,
roll damage.
Wonderful. In that case, I shall roll that. So that's 9, and then it's plus 9 plus 6. That was nice. Thank you, Ian Preble, for your dice tower.
Okay, and you're going to use your maneuver.
6, and I'd like to use a pushing attack maneuver, please.
Okay, so I'm assuming they've got to make a strength saving throw.
You can expend 1 superior die to attempt to drive the target back. Your superior blah 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 on a failed save. Yeah, it doesn't say if the target is large or small. It must make a strength saving throw.
Okay, yeah.
On a failed save, it's pushed 15 feet away.
Well, I can safely say it failed. So with your turn, you bring this attack, and as you smash it down, you see it drop down, and you just kick it, and it tumbles up and over down the well as you hear it disappear.
Nice.
Full of a toque.
So I can't see the map at the moment. So is there a way for me to move towards? I want to move to the northeast,
Okay.
towards the clump of villains. Is there a way for me to move?
Well, you are
closer
that would
towards one of
provoke an
them?
opportunity attack from the
From the
dog
dog.
that you are currently standing next to. Because there were 2 dogs. You've got rid of one of them. So you can
Okay,
take that
I
risk
think-
or not.
I think I'll stay where I am for now. I think.
Okay.
And I think that'll be my turn done.
In that case,
Thanks.
it is now this quite loud noise of like a hawk descending and throwing out flames, these swords going off, the arrows going off, and these spectral arms appearing. Suddenly, every head turns around to see you all, and the creatures just run towards you all. So the first one is going to run towards Octavius, and I'm assuming a 22 hits.
No, it doesn't hit.
Okay, you take 5 points of necrotic damage.
5 points, okay.
The second one, in fact, 3 are going to rush in towards Lak, as he had attacked them. So an 18 on the first,
Nope.
16, so the second one misses, and 13, so the third one misses. They all 3 run in, saliva dripping everywhere, but you manage to duck down and using cool monk
6
shit
arms.
block all the attacks. I have just zoomed in far too far and lost sight of everything. There we go. 1, 2, rush towards. One rushes towards Ripper, who is currently still prone.
Oh no.
So gets a natural 20. So Ripper. I rolled a 1 on the die. It's fine. So plus thing. Take 10 points of necrotic damage, please. As 1 rushes in, drops down, and just starts biting on you again. 2 don't quite manage to flank. Oh no, 1 does manage to flank with the dog. So one of them. Oh no, let's roll the other one. Both of them miss 6 as 2 run in, and you manage to just swirl around, bat one back with a forearm, and knock the other back with the flat of your scimitar. The others are going to rush in, but not quite get close enough. 1 jumps over and rushes, and suddenly all the other creatures are running down towards you. That is their turn, and then we get to the top of the round. Lak, you are up.
Okay. Well, I'm surrounded by 3. That's almost perfect. I shall stab 1 with my spear. The
Okay.
one directly in front of me. Might as well do that first. Yes! Yes! It's a natural 20.
Okay,
Nice.
roll
Doubling
damage.
up.
So that's full first, isn't it?
Yeah.
The first one. Okay. So 8 plus 4 plus 6. 18 points of damage with the first.
So the first spear, as you just jab out instinctively, straight up under the jaw, back through. Again, it's that knife through butter. There's almost a soft thum as it stabs through, and as you pull back, it just collapses down.
Okay. And then I shall spend a key point, and that means I can do a flurry of blows,
Okay.
which means I shall attack each one. So
Okay.
and it all happens at exactly the same time. Like they all go
Stab
out and the spear goes.
Fists.
Yeah,
Okay.
stab fists. 1 attack with the arms is a 22, and the other attack is, not so good, is only a 14.
Hits, both hits.
Okay.
Only got to beat an 11 AC. We
Okay,
found
brilliant.
it earlier.
So that is 7 points of force damage on one,
Yep.
and 9 points of force damage on the other.
Okay, so one of the fists just smashes one of them straight into the ground, and it just splats in a small puddle and is no more. The other one gets broadsided but manages to recover and is back looking at you with its teeth bared.
So just looking at the map,
Yes.
that's the house almost cleared, isn't it?
Yes.
So I'm going to try and shout up to the house. Is anyone okay in there? Is everyone okay?
We'll find out what happens. That is your turn.
It is.
Octavius, you are next. You are now surrounded with 2 dogs in front of you, just behind them 2 lumbering figures, and a figure just behind you as well.
So I'd like to summon my spirit 5 feet to the southeast of me.
Okay, this spirit appears, flash of flames flapping there.
Yeah, and then I would like to command the spirit with my bonus action to use its fiery teleportation.
Okay.
Taking me with it.
Yes.
And I teleport 30 feet to unoccupied space to the northeast. And then, as I go, I shout, "Sorry, Lak. I know you can dodge it." And then everything within 10 feet of the spirit needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
So that would have been all the creatures.
Plus Lak.
Plus Lak. And what's the
Yes.
save?
It's a 15 save.
Dexterity.
Yes, please.
Jesus! I rolled a 15. Mother fungler.
Nice.
That had been the second time you blew me
Okay.
up.
So everything that fails...
I got 1 nat 20 and 4 under 5. So 4
Okay.
fail.
No.
So everything that fails takes 8 points of fire damage.
Okay. Which you'd already injured 1. So the dog that had been injured before just erupts in flames as this fire just evolves out. All the others take 4.
All the others take... Well, if they
Is it half?
succeed, they take none.
Okay.
Well, brilliant.
Okay, brilliant. So this flames just incinerates the one. The others seem to just kind of dodge around it and move as they don't seem to take the damage for some strange reason. I'm assuming that's your turn.
Yes.
Okay, I'll get the correct order this time. Seed, you are up.
Okay, so this time their target is going to be, and I'm just double checking this is definitely right this time. So their target this time is going to be the dog that's standing next to Six.
Okay.
So again, that's going to be a bow shot.
Okay, make your shot.
That is 17.
17 hits. Roll damage.
Okay, it's 6 damage.
6 damage. This one had already taken some injury before. Yes, it had. So as again, this arrow fires through and just takes the creature in the neck, and you hear this kind of gurgling as it drops to its knees and disappears. And your bonus action?
Okay. If I can switch out for my drum again,
Of course.
I would then like to give Sixsmith bardic inspiration. So kind of in a sort of similar way to everyone else, the rhythm changes specifically for you. So it's your very own drumbeat spurring you on to hit these things.
Fantastic.
Got some voices in there somehow. Somehow I hear it on the wind.
There's an aura of it around.
The drum voices. It's speaking drum, talking drums. Ripper, you are up then.
Okay, Ripper is going to take 1 step to his right.
Okay.
5 feet of movement.
So you're next to Six, down and to the right.
Yeah, so I'm sort of next to the dog and Six.
That dog's all gone. Refresh your screen.
Oh, sorry. Fair enough.
So I've just moved you down and to the right, so you're next to Six. So you're standing shoulder to shoulder.
I
with
was
the class on the
no, basically I wanted to be 1 below the. Yeah, that's good. That's the
Yeah.
one. That is absolutely the one. Perfect. And then Ripper is going to twirl his staff, and he's going to look at Six, and he's going to say, "You want to know my secret, Six? I'm always holy." And he slams his staff into the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm going to use my channel divinity to turn unholy. Any undead within 30 feet of me must make a wisdom saving throw. If not, it is turned for 1 minute.
Okay. Woo, that is
To all of them.
almost
Quite a few. That's quite
Have
a few.
fun.
almost
Johnny.
everything. Right.
But that is an epic
What's the
move,
DC?
Ryan.
The DC is... One moment. DC of 14.
My luck has turned. As 1, 2... So you see 1 just shriek. It's going to make an acrobatics and fail it. 1 just falls down the well as it attempts to get away from the quickest way it can. And just you hear a...
Yes.
Is the other one runs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them just flee.
Good. That was...
That light of Alluria is very effective, huh?
Yeah. And then that's it. I'll end my turn. I'm not gonna do anything else there.
That seems
Yes.
pretty darned effective.
Faeza, you're up. Then it's then there's 1 dog left. Then it's 6.
So all of those ones that are turned for a full minute as well.
Yeah, they've got to flee for the whole minute. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless they are hit, in which case they
Yeah.
snap out of it.
Faeza, you're on
You're
mute.
muted, Christine.
Soz. So I was just saying, so the one that's running to me is running away. It's not running to attack me.
Yes.
Is that how that works?
Make me a insight check quickly.
Oh gosh, okay. Oh, might be okay. Hold on. Dirty 20.
So you've just seen Ripper twirl his staff, shout it down, and this burst of light come out of it, and you can suddenly see the fear in all these cadaverous faces as they start fleeing, and you get the sense this thing's just trying to get away by the
Okay.
shortest route possible.
In which case, I will step around the cadaver. Is that what we're calling them? So like,
Sure.
out of the way. So I'll go 5 foot north west of myself.
Okay.
Just let him run, and then
That creates a little
1, 2,
corridor that it could run through.
Yeah, and then 5, 10, 20. Could I go to the... I've got 25 foot of movement in total. So if I went just south of Sixsmith,
10,
the rest of my
15,
movement.
20. Yep, that's 20 feet.
Cool. Then I will... So there's this group of 4
Yes,
that's
to the
north...
east.
Yeah, they're not affected at the moment. Are they not running at the moment?
2 of them are running, yes. The
Okay.
one at the top and the one in the middle of the 3 are running.
Okay. In which case I will use... This has changed things. It's fun. I'm going to cast Tasha's Caustic Brew. Yeah, I am. At the 2 that are not moving. Which I
Okay.
think is...
Is it an area
Are
of
they
effect?
together?
So it's just...
Yeah, it's 30 foot from me.
Yeah.
And it goes in a line that's 30 foot long and 5 feet wide. So it's probably not going to get both of them, is it?
You could get 2 of them, like say if you aimed
Okay.
down the middle.
Yeah, okay, let's do that then. Each creature in the line must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or be covered in acid for the spell's duration, or until a creature uses its action to scrape. It's got to be 13.
I don't know what
And
my
the
luck.
creek-
My luck has just fled. I just rolled a 7 and a 9.
Except for me. Except for me. I saved every single thing except one.
Sorry,
It's
Brad.
the
2020,
creatures,
Brad.
creatures covered in the acid take 2d4 acid damage at the start of each of their turns.
Each of their turns. Okay, thank
Yes.
you very much.
That is all right.
What I need then is I should be able to put a little marker on them somehow. I'll figure out how to do this. Okay, so
It's all right.
6.
Keep you on your toes. Toots has got to go.
Oh,
if
sorry,
that's all
yeah,
right.
go on, Tooks.
Thank you. So Toots, who's got 40 foot of movement, is probably going to go up to the cadaver that's running away. Is only 10 foot away from it, and she is going to use force empowered rend on that. Let's do an attack roll.
Poor thing, just trying to run away.
I don't care.
Mauled by a automaton.
Excuse me. It's 12.
That hits. That hits.
Great.
Roll
And I've got a. Thank you. 6 plus. That is 8 points of force damage.
Just enough as Toots' claws come up and just tear into this creature as it runs past, kind of hamstring it as it falls down, its head right by Toots. Toots just brings down its claw again and just rips through the sinews of the neck and it disappears.
Cool. And then she's going to use the rest of her movement to go up to just east of Faeza.
Okay, fantastic.
That's so
The one dog has just seen this person try to set fire to it, so it's going to run back towards Octavius, and it's going to totally whiff its attack with a 3. What have you done, Brad? You've bradded my dice.
All I had to do was mention the luck,
Bradded.
and the luck turns it.
That's it now. Bradded. You bradded the dice.
You're like our very own Will Wheaton. And 6, it is your turn.
Certainly feeling that way.
Okay. I'm going to use 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet of movement to move to... You see there's the clump of 3 by the what I assume is a vegetable patch. I'd like to move to the west side. Have they changed slightly?
Refresh your screen.
Possibly. Refresh, yeah, because loads of creatures have run.
Oh man, I just refreshed it a minute ago. There's 2, and then there's 1 on the side.
So there's 3 in a line.
There's 3 in a line and then 1 on the side.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, come on. Every time I refresh it and it's not my go, seconds, mere seconds. Can someone just send me a very quick screenshot
I'm
of
on
the
it.
top of...
So essentially, 20 feet away in front of you, 3 of them are in a line. One of them is 20 feet away at a very slight, a 5-foot diagonal to those 3. So you could run up and be in front of 3 of them, or you could run up and be in front of any particular one of them you chose.
Oh, okay, amazing. I would like to move so that I'm nestled in between the north one and the east one. Can I do that?
Okay, absolutely, easily. You run up so you get between one of the ones that's fleeing and one of the ones that's still coming towards you.
And then inspired by my brother's turn at the very start of the game, of the fight, I rub the urn. 6 rubs the urn. He looks up to the sky and he says, he whispers my life with great joy. And then he turns. This is the thing. I don't know. 6 does not know how many people can witness this. And this very interesting who can see this and who can't see this. But he uses, for you, Johnny, it's called radiant consumption. And for everyone else who can see this, he assumes the form of a sort of spirit guardian of a loxodon. So it looks you can tell it's a spirit, but he sort of still has his similar features, sort of like Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. He's like nestled in this loxodon form, this sort of elephantine form. And he's got, he's bejeweled and he's got clothes, that are befitting this figure, armor. And just like that, like that thing we saw recently, he's not a camel, but he's got lots of stuff sort of like, painted almost like henna around his body. And radiant consumption means that he does a 10-foot radius of dim light, 20-foot radius of 10-foot radius of bright light, 20-foot radius of dim light.
Yep.
And his attack will deal an extra 4 in radiant damage.
Okay.
To one target.
Okay, make your attack.
So he will bring his scimitar down on
The one to
Let's
the
say the
very
one in
north
the
is that one's fleeing, and the one to your southeast is fleeing. The one directly to your east is coming towards you.
Oh, thanks. Well, in that case, I better take that one on.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
So I will make an attack roll. Okay, I'm going to use Bardic Inspiration. I rolled an 11. I'm going to use Bardic Inspiration.
You don't need
okay.
to, it hits.
Oh, thank you, mate. Lovely.
It's all right. I mean, I didn't set the AC of these creatures, but thanks. So you won't even need to roll damage with your extra attack. As you bring the scythe, your scimitar down, it is sheathed in this radiant light, and as it touches the creature running towards you, it crackles and burns with an unholy yelling, and you feel it just almost disintegrate as you cut through it. And it just drops instantly.
Do I notice that?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
I think
natural one.
No, what I'm going to say is I've just noticed the time because we're all having fun, but it is very, very late. So I'm going to call it at the end of this round as the last thing that is going to happen is one.
Let me see if I hang on. Do I have a bonus attack? Hold on, just before you.
Are you going to use one of your points because you've got the two rushing away from you at the moment?
Well, what I will do is I think that's okay, but at the end of my turn, I have to take some damage.
Yeah, you take 2 radiant. They also take 2 radiant. Both of these creatures.
Yeah, so they'll take 2 radiant, and I will take 2 radiant as the power is almost too much for me to hold at this moment.
Okay.
And I think I'll keep it for now.
Yep. Okay, you've got it for 1 minute, so that's fine.
I'll stay where I am.
Then, as these 2 creatures just take this searing radiant damage, both of them turn round and look at you. The third one rushes in. They are all going to make attacks. So far, the highest is a 16. And last attack. Nope, highest was a 16. I'm assuming they all miss on your armor class. 6.
They
all miss.
I think they do. They do. They all miss. Oh, yeah. So hold on. I'd like to use. Are they all attacking me? Are they all 3 of them?
Yes.
I would like to use a superiority dice to attack maybe the one to the south east.
Is that a reaction?
If he misses, I'm allowed to use a dice to roll an attack on him.
Go for it then.
So. Okay, I don't quite know how it works. Hold on, let me grab it.
This is riposte. When a creature misses you with a melee attack, you use your reaction to expend 1 superiority die to make a melee weapon attack.
Brilliant.
Lovely. So I've used it, and a melee attack is just my normal scimitar attack, is it? Mm-hmm. And I just go for it. It doesn't need to be rolled.
No, you just
I'm
add
quite nervous. This is good. It's quite exciting.
You add the superiority dice to the damage.
Okay. In that case, it's 10 points of damage plus 2.
What was the hit first?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know I had to hit for it because it's
No, you still have to make an attack roll. Yes.
Sorry, my bad. It's 13.
So you hit. So what was the damage in total?
10 plus 2 is 12 points of damage.
Okay, plus the radiant damage.
Plus the 4d4 for radiant.
Plus the radiant damage. Do I have to, is it just 4 flat out?
It's just 4 flat out.
Oh.
So this, so the second one, you just, as it rushes in, you knock 2 of them and just slice through the other one, and again, it's sizzling burn as it drops down. 3 more are going to rush in towards you. Only 2 will get an attack at this time, and god damn it, they will both miss.
Are those none of the ones that were turned? The ones that move in?
No, because these are ones that were just too far out now. So he's already killed 2 of the ones that were turned. And 2 of the ones that are turned...
They both missed, do they?
Disappear.
Okay.
Every other creature disappears, and that gives us the end of our round. I am going to call it there because it's very, very late, and I realise people are watching, and some of us still have work tomorrow. So, in the new year, we will pick up.
Oh God!
Towards the end.
Who hasn't seen this Loxodon form, this celestial form?
I guess we'll find out.
We will all figure that out. Johnny and I will talk about that.
We certainly will roll some dice to determine the outcome, like a game that has some rules. And thanks for tuning in, folks. We know it's been a bit of a later one tonight, but got a little bit sucked into that completely random encounter. We should say, please do tune in next Monday for the one shot. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they all got up to when I wasn't at the table to look after them, the unruly bunch. Secondly, we hope you have a wonderful winter. However you are spending your day or time period, please do make the most of it. Find positive things to do. You know, it's really easy to get down, but there's plenty of great things we can do. Reach out, whether it's on Twitter, which our Twitter handle is
at Blood Song Party.
Blood Song Party.
Or Instagram, where the handle is
at Blood and Song.
Or Facebook, where they can find us as
search for Blood and Song.
Or any of the other places, YouTube, Twitch. We are here to talk, folks. We'd love to hear from you, see how you're getting on.
Buy Johnny's t-shirts. That will I guarantee you, doesn't matter what's going wrong in your life, if you buy one of Johnny's t-shirts, it will make you infinitely more happy.
So these are available from
www. At its finest.
Absolutely. Well, it's Christmas. Earthsembers.com to find these fine range of teas. There will be more Blood and Song official merch coming at some point.
Definitely, along with more one-shots, along with more opportunities for guest stars. So we're going to bring, hopefully, some people in to have guest spots when the time is right.
So working on that.
So throw your hat in the ring if you want to come on as a guest, and Johnny will find a way to place you in the ongoing story. So that should
certainly will. Until then, we've done that. Have I missed anything, folks?
Well, this year was the year of D&D, wasn't it? It was the 2020 year. It was the year you could get crit rolls, and it screwed us. It was crit fails.
It was the DM crit rolling against us. Yeah.
Yeah. So next year, roll 2 d20s and flip a coin to find your D1, and let us know what the outcome is.
Also, look, Matt, I just want to say thank you to everyone, to everyone who's listening, of course, but thank you to everyone on the stream. Like, genuinely, sincerely, we talk about this afterwards when we jump off the stream, but it was such an amazing thing to do during the lockdown. We would have done it anyway, but I'm so grateful to have your company and to work alongside you guys, with you guys, and on this stream, and have our characters sort of like support each other and run up against each other. So I'm really genuinely sort of humbled and amazed.
And massive props to Johnny creating this game whilst being a teacher in 2020.
Full-time teacher.
What the actual, you know what I mean? So
if I can deal with this government, I can deal with anything. So it's a pleasure trying it for you guys.
You brought the thunder, Johnny, and everybody brought the thunder.
It's been good. It's been good.
Dan's tech wizardry today.
Yeah, well done, Dan.
We made it. I've got one more button to press.
Thanks for taking over. You'll
see. Sometimes you can see little things pop up on my screen. I'm sorry, you'll see it back in the stream, but it's been fun. It's been fun.
Brad, it's thankless for you. You normally do it, so thank you for you doing it every other time as well, man.
Oh no, but it's part of the job, isn't it? We all have our own jobs, and Dan's taken on an extra job this time. So
thank you.
Everybody's contributions can be seen in everything that we do. So yeah. It's amazing.
I think it leaves it to me then to say it is the darkest night tonight, but dawn always comes. So look to the east tomorrow morning, and the days will get brighter, and things will become better for all of us. Have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. I'll see you in the chat next Monday, and until then, may the great goddess guide you in all that you do. Good night.
Bye.
See you in 2021.
See you in 2021.
Bye.